So, as we had last left it off, Artie fought with the hobgoblins, which quickly changed into something else as they were able to interrupt the ritual being done by the said hobgoblins. And once the ritual itself was ruined, they then started to retreat in fear, with their leader calling out, "What have you done?" And before the party had known it, 3 fey-like creatures had been summoned that commanded a great deal of fire about them, which started setting fire to the immediate surroundings. They were maddened and just destructive in nature, which you stemmed as the fact that the ritual itself had been interrupted, and because the ritual had not been completed, they had not retained their sanity or their consciousness, as it were, in transition over to the next side. Journeying on from this, you made your way to the Star Settlement, where you were immediately accosted by those who called themselves the Guardsmen of Star's Independence, which gave Sparhawk an incredibly hard time from his gleaming armor and his horse.
Sparhawk didn't help himself.
Yeah. Upon discussing things or trying to glean some information out of these clearly hostile people, you were able to go and speak with Arano, the appointed leader of Star's Independence, and going to chat with him. He was a little bit more reasonable than the common guard, but he still had a great distaste for nobles and those who represented the power or even the strength of the old world, and their oppressors and all the bad things that they just wanted to get away from. And they immediately insisted that Sparhawk take his royal bum and go over to the other side of the river towards Star's Legacy, who has fractured off from Star's Independence to become their own place, a place where the traditions of the old world was honoured. And they still consider themselves citizens of the Urinium Empire. Upon gaining this information, the party decided it might be best to go and speak with the leader over in Star's Legacy. And before leaving, Emron had a quick chat with Arano and told him of the Vivas trading company was operating in the New World, which seemed to trouble Arano. It was with that information that Arano decided to hasten his plans to invade Star's Legacy in order to take their building materials, their iron, everything they would need to complete their structures in order for them to survive the winter. And it gave them a compensation for said information. With that, the party made their way over to Star's Legacy, where Agnes was accosted, being from with attire from a clearly not a very well-off area of the Uranium Empire, a place known as Mud's Crater, even. They gave her a hard time, accusing her of being a harlot, and among other things. However, she smiled and bared this, until eventually you made your way to go and see Gilderoy Tyno, the dwarven leader of Star's Legacy. And as you could see already, Star's Legacy had already built some pretty impressive and sturdy buildings, and were already creating small levels of steam and smog from their forging. However, the one thing they did not have was timber and food, the thing that they would actually need to survive and keep their town running effectively. The one thing they could get from Star's Independence, which they refused to give over. He had a quick chat with Gilderoy, whilst Emron, disguised as Corgi, went inside, scouted out his office to see that Gilderoy himself had drawn up plans to attack or invade Stars Independence in roughly about 10 days' time to take their food because they were at breaking point of starvation. And with that, he desecrated the office and left while the rest of you had a quick chat with Gilderoy, who was respectful, if a little traditional. He did promise aid for New Uranium, which is the original purpose of why he came. He would also hadn't heard of anything of the scouts of Hunter Lexi, who had come here seeking aid originally and who is now missing. And as you guys told him that you were going to contemplate what was going on, as you were discussing things, a hooded man by the name of Varys approached you. He said he had noted that you guys had spoken to both leaders and looked rather capable. And he had an offer for you that would effectively make you the new kings and queens of the new world. And that was where we left it off. So, Amron, you're still a corgi, aren't you?
Correct. I've got an hour to go till Wild Shape finishes.
No worries. So, this hooded man is standing there with a reasonably charismatic smile on his face as he speaks, as he looks at all of you and says, "Well, what do you think? Sounds like a very good offer, don't you think?"
Depends on your opinion of kings and queens, really.
Ah, well, I don't really have an opinion. As the people I represent, I'll be honest, we don't really care who does what in this settlement. We're here for one thing and one thing alone, and that is the new world and all of its wonders. Now, this settlement as it is couldn't possibly function in gathering said opportunities, but a unified front, perhaps, could very well get the wonders and the riches that we're looking for. Now, I've taken it upon myself to approach certain individuals coming through here, and you all look very exceptional. And I would be happy to take you to my boss, and he can give you a proper explanation as to what we're trying to accomplish here.
Where is your boss? Which side of the river is he on?
He is on Stars Independence side. That's where our, shall we say, our operations are currently based.
And what is the organisation you represent?
Well, we follow an individual known as Dargon. He's a strong man with a strong vision of a unified starred settlement and a unified New Uranium. And a number of capable individuals have joined him in this pursuit, and we go by the name The New Order.
I'll look round at everyone. Do you think it's worth meeting them and finding out what they want?
We could hear him out.
Yeah, best to go into any sort of negotiation with knowing everything that we possibly can, so we don't lose anything by hearing them out. But I am very suspicious of guys that walk around in hoods and, sneak up on people and...
I did not sneak, I was simply overhearing you. And apologies, but my ears get very cold, so I keep my hood up.
Fair enough, it is very chilly over here.
Well, would you like to go and meet Dargon?
Yeah,
This is going to nighttime, and now we're talking about going back over to Stars Independence.
If you'd like, I can give you the nights to consider it and meet you by the bridge in the morning.
Sparhawk slaves went off from the other side to set up camp over there. Yes, I use slaves deliberately. Went off to set up camp on the other side. So presumably our camp is over that side anyway, so we'd be going back that way to our camp. Did we not decide to sleep in the camp?
we
Though?
were gonna go out, weren't we? We weren't gonna stay
Yeah,
here.
and then not pick either side as such. So potentially we've got to go through anyway. We could perhaps nip into whatever seedy establishment this Dargon's taken over and see what they've got to say.
It's more of a makeshift warehouse for now.
I wonder what sort of goods you're storing there.
Oh, they're all goods for 4 Stars Independence. It's nothing nefarious, but if you are more interested in the capabilities and the resources we could offer those who would help us in our noble task to unify this settlement, then, well, I think we could come to a very, very lucrative deal.
You know what they say about deals that are too good to be true, my friend.
Well, we are in a new place with new rules. We all need to look out for each other, do we not?
I can agree with that.
I mean, take yourself, sir. Apologise if I am being a little bit too forward, but with that book that you're carrying, I can see that you're something of a learned dragonborn. With your robes and the general focus that you have there, one would say that you're maybe a practitioner of the arcane arts. Am I incorrect in assuming that?
You are not. I have some mastery over some arts.
And have you noticed a lack of expendable components for your arts so far?
Yes, my best friend in the whole world is not with me because of it.
Well, we do have some things available that we've been able to discover in the New World. But we can discuss this more, should you wish to take me up on my offer. But I'm just giving you a minor tidbit of what you'll be getting yourselves into. Nothing nefarious here. We only wish to help out our fellow brothers and sisters who dream of a unified new world.
Of course.
And he turns towards Bark and he says, "And you yourself, sir, you look like you're one at home in nature and the wilderness."
I suppose you could say I was. An astute eye you have for a man who lingers like I do.
Does Bark say anything?
Yeah, I can hear
Can you
him
hear
talking.
me?
I can't hear him talking.
Oh yeah, no, I can hear back.
I can't hear him. That's
You don't hear me?
Discord is weird. Like,
yeah.
just
Discord is
drop out and
being
not back in at all.
Discord's being really weird in that I can't actually hear anything from the app, and I'm going for the desktop at the moment. Hold on.
Hold on.
Can I?
Hey, you now, Jack.
All right. Speak now, Bark.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
There
Excellent.
we go. Right. What did I say? You could say I have a home in the wilderness here, and it seems you're not offering anything we don't all want, but men
Well,
hiding
have
out
you
is-
have you found yourself a little bit perplexed with the amount of herbs, the amount of, shall we say, plant life and wildlife out there? What are they? What could they mean? What could they do? What's the system that's being set up here?
fresh new world. It's folklore from what I've seen. A lot of these things, it's new,
Indeed.
dangerous.
Well, we've taken a few steps into understanding some of the most immediate, shall we say, issues, and let's say we've discovered a number of plants and flowers and creatures that, well, would be of great interest to yourself. I imagine that will help you survive out there.
So your organization deals in information primarily.
No, we are primarily explorers, but we have a sense of community as well.
I want to meet this man.
Very
As do
well.
I.
Well then, would you like to spend the night to rest and go see him tomorrow, or would you like to come and see him now?
Sooner the better.
Yeah, I think we'll go see him now.
Let's
Very
do
well.
it now.
Okay, well then, if you would like to accompany me to Stars Independence, we'll go see Dargon. So, well, excuse me. With that, he begins walking back towards the bridge. Once he gets to the bridge, the guards, they seen you already very soon, and they immediately sort of address mainly Sparhawk and say, "You're going back over there so soon already? I'll be honest, I thought you were not welcome over there."
My retainers made camp outside of the town. I must go see to them.
I see. Of course. Well, do take care over there. They are vicious. They are not trustworthy in any shape or form. They're as likely to stab you as they are to help you.
I'll keep a wary eye out. Thank you for the warning.
And as the group begins filing past, they look at Agnes and say, "That's right. Go join your own kind, harlot."
I just skip. Just like skip.
So, you walk over the bridge, and coming onto the Stars Independence side, Varys is obviously leading the way. They don't pay much attention to Varys, but they are paying close attention to Sparhawk, who's coming back in and says, "Oi! we thought we told you to go over the bridge. What the fuck are you coming back for? You ain't allowed in here anymore, boy."
Can I see the original guard that I had the altercation with?
Yes. No. What? The original one that you in the street? No, he's not here.
Okay. Is there like a space at the edge of the bridge? Like, is it open, like a square?
I mean, you can. Yeah, there's a square on the other side of the bridge. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to march directly to the middle of the square.
Okay, so you just walk past them all. They basically just flip you off as you're walking past.
When I get to the middle of the square, I'm just going to stop, and I'm just going to say quite loudly, "I am sorry. I'm sorry for my behaviour earlier today. I lost my temper and my patience at some simple, rude words. That is not my way. I acted in an unchivalrous manner, and I apologise." And then I'm just going to carry on walking again.
I want you to make a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
Well,
it was fine, right to the point you said chivalrous. That's a noble word.
You really want to get your teeth kicked in, don't you?
I'm not trying to actually apologise. I'm trying to make myself feel better.
Typical bloody nobles.
That's why it was like, I am sorry rather than I profusely apologise to you. Persuasion.
Disadvantage. You see a clump of mud fly past your face and hit on the ground beside you, whereas most of the people there, they're more just cheering you at this point. They've barely listened to your words.
It's fair enough. Got it off my chest.
As you can see, they are quite lively on this side now. Let's not dilly-dally. I don't want us to run into any issues that we might have. So he begins leading you past the immediate vicinity over towards the more southern side of the village, to this place over here, this little building over here. Now, they don't know you're coming, so I'm going to have to petition for yourselves to have a meeting with Dargon, but with my recommendations, I'm sure there won't be any issues at all. If you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't want you to wait outside. Of course, you can come in, but you wouldn't object to one of our trusted allies just keeping an eye on you, just to make sure that you don't try to sneak in or anything like that. No, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just that we have some sensitive information, and we need to be sure that our leader is okay to let you in before we, well, let you in.
Understandable.
Very well. Well then, please, come on in. And he opens up the doors to this relatively small warehouse. And inside is a whole bunch of crates. And a bit of cobwebs as well. And sitting on a crate by a set of stairs in the backs is a halfling who's hooded, but you can see he has sort of like kind of greenish or burnished hair sort of thing. He has a knife that he's just sort of twiddling in his fingers. And Varys walks in and says, Buenos, as you can see, I have brought some more candidates for our organization. Is our boss about? Buenos, this halfling, is just kind of gives him a side eye while he's sort of hawk-eyes in all of you, and he says, I suppose. Is he busy at the moment? Nah, and so nothing to me. Well then, if you'd like to keep an eye on them, I shall request an audience with our dear leader, Dargon. Fine by me. And with that, Varys descends down a set of stairs. As Buenos continues sitting on this crate, watching all of you, twisting the dagger in his fingers. I've seen you guys before. You new?
Yeah, we've just arrived. It's a really cool trick you're doing with that dagger.
He stops playing with the dagger at that. We trying to make a comment or something? Trying to make a joke?
No, I'm saying I was genuinely impressed. I mean, look at my dragonborn clawed hands. I can't do anything that nimble. I'm just honestly quite impressed.
Make a persuasion roll. Kenny, can you go ahead and make a... This is going to be an investigation check, but because it's to do with smell, I'll let you do it at advantage.
Thank you. Rolling now. First roll. Not great. Second roll. Much better.
Best you can tell, they're filled with hay. One of them smells a little kind of like salt a bit, but that's about it, really. This is like just a general storage place, 4 stars independence.
Okay.
Doesn't have a complete roof at the moment, so that's why. Buenos is just staring at you, Forchris. He just goes, what? On the floor.
Did Venus say he'd seen us before? He's never seen us before.
Buenos has not seen you before, no.
Okay.
I won't react. I'll just shrug and step back.
And this is a different halfling, so just so you know, Cora.
Thank you.
So, what's the talker told you then?
That you have a third option that could possibly unify a city about to fall to stupidity.
You call this place a city? It's more of a shit hump with a few buildings on it.
That's how every city starts.
Well, yeah, I suppose you could say that. I suppose we're doing the neighbourly thing.
Tell me, how long ago did you arrive here?
Oh, I've been here a better part of 2.5 weeks now, maybe. No, it's Been closer to 3 weeks now, yeah.
And your company, your organization, came on the same ships as everyone else.
Oh, no, we met each other here. Dargon is, well, you'll see that he has a certain sway to get people over on his side.
Well, I hope he's as charming as I am.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'd shank him in a heartbeat if I could make a good profit out of it. But he's got ideas, he's got visions, and quite frankly, I think it'd be way more profitable to stay with him. And I'll be honest, in a straight fight, I don't think I'd survive. I'd have to get him in the darkness, or by surprise. Agnes and Cora. A dagger swings straight past your head, straight into the wall behind you.
As he throws that knife, I instantly knock an arrow and just point it at him. Small grin on my face, just bastard to bastard, but...
Always be on your feet in these new parts. You never know what's going to get you.
There's a halfling sitting on a crate. You're not on your feet.
You're a very literal dragonborn, aren't you?
I've been known, and I'd like to cast Mage Hand, and with that Mage Hand, pull his dagger out of the wall, and just tuck it into my belt.
Make a strength check with the Mage Hand. It's embedded in there pretty hard.
I mean, I don't know what this. I mean, they're obviously not very strong because they only lift like 10 pounds or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually got a set strength.
I think the Mage Hand has got like a 4 strength or something like that. Hold on.
Yeah, this is going to go well.
Let's have a look, see. Yeah, just make a strength check at disadvantage using your strength.
Okay. Yeah, it's not much better than whatever his strength is. Yeah. It looked so cool in my head, but I'm just...
Yeah, it fiddles with it a little bit, but just can't get it out.
And I just make it disappear and hang my head in shame.
Barhawk's going to walk up and get the dagger and then hand it to Volkris. Whilst looking at the halfling.
Wow, you're better than Mage Hand.
I'll be taking that back before you leave. That is mine.
I'll return it to you at some point.
You'll return it when I ask you to.
All right, you two, let's not start swinging dicks too quickly, shall we? We still got business to attend to.
It's a dagger, not a dick.
He's a dragonborn. Does he even have one of those?
Gotta say, I like this halfling. He's a straight shooter.
I think you, Mr. Arfork, will get on quite well here. Tell me, what's that sigil on your cloak there?
Oh, this. I suppose a man in your line of work, assuming I am right in that line of work, a bit of a black burner.
Can't say I have.
Call us demon hunters, I suppose would be the right words. Mercenaries towards the latter end of Uranium's end.
You don't say.
Well, when the worst thing in the world is other people, you gotta learn to pick where your fights are.
That's true. Always, sounds to me like you guys are a bunch of warriors when it counts.
Don't know much about the dog, but the rest of them are alright.
Well, thank you for sharing. And you, and he's gesturing towards Cora. I ain't seen anything like you before. You a native?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're from the old world, are you?
Yes.
How did someone like you get on by without, ending up in some circus?
She's gonna tuck her head a little bit and say, I don't belong in a circus, and I get along just fine. Thank you very much.
Well, if the new world doesn't ever work out for you, to the rest of you, if it was making to look a quick buck, I'm fairly certain she'd probably go for a few thousand gold back in the old world if you're looking to make money real quick.
Not for sale.
That's enough out of you, why not?
There's not a market for it here, but I mean, I know a few people if you're ever interested.
Emron snarls and barks.
No dogs allowed in there, by the way. As you walk towards him, Mike, he says, "Hey, you'll stay where you are until I tell you to come forward, mate."
Yeah, and you'll not speak ill of the people I travel with unless you really want an arrow between the eyes. I like you or not, but don't overstep your mark.
Meant no offense, just got a business mind, that's all.
Well, let's keep your business out of selling other people, shall we?
No worries. Well, you go a long way to earning some trust here if you throw that dog out before it shits everywhere.
I'm just gonna turn around to Emma and just be like, Can you stop being a dog now this is business.
It's a dog. I don't think it could stop being a dog.
No. I'm just gonna glare at Emron through my hood, big purple eyes. Just come on.
Emron's gonna go behind Cora and hides behind her instead.
Fine.
Oh my God, he vanished.
Fine. But just so you know, if you guys go in, that dog is staying out. I'm not letting it in.
Fine with me.
Right. Well,
Is there a reason why you won't let the dog in?
because I don't fucking like dogs, that's why.
I'm just saying, if the dog doesn't go in with us, that he stays out here with you, and you're stuck with him. That doesn't seem ideal.
Well,
He shits everywhere.
I can think of a few things to do.
We are not here to see you, Lucky.
Starting shit again.
You look like someone who has every beck and call answered for. Be careful of those who follow you. You never know when one of them's just gonna lose their temper and slip something in your morning tea, sir.
Did you used to be someone's bitch, did you? Is that how you escaped?
No. I used to have a very lucrative career. Fortunately, let's just say I got let go.
I suppose. Hunter to hunter. What is that career then?
Oh, well. I made some not so very nice people make other not so very nice people get out of their way, shall we say.
Sounds like honourable work.
Well, if you want to call it honourable, go right ahead. I ain't gonna stop you. Made me very rich. Unfortunately, sometimes people, they want to go and inspect the carnage, or what was that noise, or is that a body out there, let's go see. And my employees always had a strict no witness policy, so
Well,
they
a true
weren't
professional
prepared.
wouldn't leave anything for them to witness.
Well, let's just say they weren't. I was blunt and direct with my job. And unfortunately, I cost the company maybe a little bit too much on collateral.
And what company, you say?
Oh, well, I work from place to place. Loads of companies are always looking for somebody good with a knife.
Any big companies? World-ending companies?
Why do you want to know? Are we best friends now?
Just want to know who I'm stood next to.
You're speaking next to someone who's making sure you ain't going inside until the boss man says it's okay, and that's all you need to know.
Oh, no, there's no need to make a friendly conversation so aggressive, is there, my friend?
Ah, well, I don't appreciate strangers plying into my trade, and who I work with.
Well, your man brought strangers into your trade.
Not my trade. I just watch the door and do other things when not asked.
So you don't work for this man?
Oh, no, I work with this guy. I don't work for anyone anymore.
This halfling, is there anything, can I investigate him? Not like physically, but just look him over, see if there's anything I,
Make an insight check.
Insight.
He's shifty as fuck.
Well, I got that.
After a few minutes of this, Wenner says, "Alright, well, I'm done with words now. Let's just sit in awkward silence until Varys comes back, shall we?" So, after a few minutes of silence, eventually you hear some more footsteps. Until eventually you see Varys return. "Hello, everyone. Sorry to keep you waiting. Wennos, did they behave?" "Like a couple of sheep in the pen." "Oh, that's very good to hear. So, Dargon is happy to see you, but we would need your word now that everything you're about to see must stay with you and you alone."
I freely give my word, but I wonder what our word is worth to you. You don't even know us.
"Well, if you don't want to keep your word, well, you can walk out that door right now."
I will keep my word. I'm a truthful and honest man.
So you will keep your word that you will not reveal anything you're about to see to anybody else outside of the New Order. Is that correct?
Indeed.
And he turns towards Isaac. "And you, sir?"
Yep, you've got my word.
"And you, sir?" And he turns towards Buck.
You got my lips sealed.
Very good. He turns towards Agnes. "And you, madam?"
I just nod, frantically not saying a word.
"I need you to say, I will not share this with anyone, please."
I will not share this information with anyone outside the New Order.
"Thank you. Thank you very much." He turns towards Sparhawk. "And yourself, good sir?" "If you can't make a vow, then you're more than welcome to walk out the door."
Sparhawk walks out the door.
Okay.
As he's going out, can I follow him and make like I'm pushing him outside the door and closing the door? But as I'm pushing him out, I want to cast invisibility on him and pull him back in.
Make it. Ooh. Are you casting it as he's going out of the door and then bringing him back in?
Yeah, so it looks like as I'm like pulling the door closed, pulling him back in, like with.
I want you to make a sleight of hand check, please.
I'm terrible at these. Oh, it's all right.
Nice.
So before the door closes, Sparhawk, you immediately no longer see your feet or your hands, and you feel Isaac tug on your breastplate to come back in.
I guess I tried to be very quiet.
All right, make a stealth check, please. At
Oh,
disadvantage.
shit.
Oh god, this is where it
Full
goes to shit.
armor.
Did you say disadvantage?
Yes, because he can't see you, but you'll still be making noise.
I am wearing chainmail.
Come on.
Stealth.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that certainly beats Varus's passive perception. And Wenus as well, actually. Well, at least he was true to his word and walked out the door. Very honourable of himself. And you, madam? And he turns towards you, Cora. Yes, what?
then, yeah, I won't tell anybody outside of the new order. I am
Excellent.
going to need to take my dog with me.
Ah.
Emron
I
waggles his tail.
don't see how that would be an issue, to be honest. When it then says, no, he said no to that. Oh, any particular reason why? I don't like how it smells. Well, if Wenus's nose is on guard, then perhaps you can send a dog out with your friend.
I really kind of need him for emotional stability, and I'm just going to start shaking.
Well, if you're so upset over the prospect of losing your dog, then perhaps you are not the correct person to get involved with the new order.
I didn't say I was upset at the prospect of losing him. I said for emotional stability. There's a difference.
Yes, but I'm saying is if you cannot bear to be apart from him for your own emotional stability, then perhaps you will not be suitable for this organization.
If the dog's going downstairs, what is the issue with the smell? And I'm going to look at Isaac and say, can you, make him not smell?
Yep. So I'll cast
With
prestidigitation on Emron to make him smell better.
Okay. Well, so Emron no longer smells, and Varus turns to Reynolds and says, well, it seems they've cleaned the dog up. Is that acceptable for you? Nah, I don't like how it looks.
Damn it.
I don't know, something about that dog is rubbing me the wrong way.
I don't know how wild shape works. Is there a way that I could let him outside and he could change into something else, like
Yes, while he's wild
spider
shape,
or
you
rat?
can. I think when you're wild shaped, you can turn into another creature. You just can't gain any more HP than you already had. So if you turn into something like a direwolf as a dog, you'd still have 5 HP instead of 37.
Yeah, I'll be fine actually.
If you'd like, is there something else that you could shift into and I could hide you in my clothing somewhere and bring you in?
Not right now, but I'll be fine. Take me outside. Okay. I'll be okay.
All right, I'm gonna.
I mean, you could just turn back into Emron. It wouldn't be a problem.
It's okay.
I don't
I've
think-
got a plan. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'll bring my dog outside.
And Emma will
Wait,
go, oh, like, as leaving the owner and goes
Okay.
out.
I'm just going to turn to Cora and just say, make sure you chain him to a post or something. Make sure he doesn't run away.
We're going to come back upstairs to Viva la Revolution.
Yeah.
Well,
Swear to God, if someone's burning
Well-
like outside, it's a trip to the vet.
I appreciate that. Very well. Would you like to follow me?
I'll take the dagger out my waistband, flip it round, hold it by the blade, and as we pass Wenos, I'll just pass it back to him.
Wenos takes it and just gives a begrudging smile.
So as there's commotion as I'm going downstairs,
Yeah.
outside, Emron's
Yeah.
going to drop wild shape and then change again into a bumblebee or a fly or something that's very fast.
Oh, so you're just going to change so you change from a dog into a bee, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then I'll
Okay.
buzz downstairs.
You
said
you
part of
cannot.
the
You
room.
don't. You're not high level enough to have a creature with flying speed.
Okay,
Or-
so
yeah.
I'll
You'd
do.
be a walking bee.
No, that's I keep changing to a spider. I'll do a
spider's fine.
spider, and then I'll crawl through. If there's a keyhole, any gaps under the door. Then I
No,
will-
easily enough for a spider, and in about 5 minutes' time, you'll be able to cross the way,
Great.
to get to the stairs.
Cool.
Spiders
just
are
follow them.
amazingly fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you just to go ahead and make a stealth check as a spider, please, with advantage, because Wenos is keeping an eye out for everything.
Yeah. First one.
I can just imagine him stamping on this spider and it just turning back into Emron.
Second one.
Okay, so as you start crawling across the floor, that Wenos is still there. He's spinning the blade again. He doesn't seem to have noticed you, as over the course of the next few minutes you make your way across the floor to get to the stairs.
Cute.
The rest of you make your way downstairs, and immediately your nostrils are overcome with the scent of nature. And as you get downstairs, you are in a room that is completely and utterly covered with plants, herbs, flowers, all manners of herbalism sort of thing. And at the very end of the room, do you see a small desk with a red tiefling sitting behind it. Varys is leading the way. And as you guys start approaching this red tiefling, who's currently inspecting what appears to be a blue-stemmed flower, sort of looks up and goes, we have more recruits for the new order. Yes, we do. Well, they'd like to meet with Dargon at least, and he's happy to see them. Very good. Please don't touch anything. Everything is meticulously prepared and ordered, and I spent a lot of time documenting these plants, and I'd like it. I have a system. I want it to stay that way, please.
They're all very, very beautiful.
Yes, I think so too. They've got many wonderful, beautiful value towards it all.
Do either, I guess it would be Borchris or I, really anybody recognize any of the things around that that this person would be inspecting as the things that we collected while we were by the hobgoblins?
Some of them, yes, but there are a lot of things that you just have not seen before.
Okay.
Like, there are a lot of herbs. Actually, Volkris, you would immediately pick up. There are a great number of herbs here that would be absolutely ideal for spell components. Probably
Herbs for Find Familiar.
Yeah, probably about 70 or 80 gold's worth of herbs.
I just asked Nature, is there any chance at all you'd like to part with some of these herbs? I'm desperately after some.
Oh, well, if you join the order, I'd be happy to share it with you, but if you're not part of us, then, well, I don't know.
Well, we shall find out what the order is all about. Sound like lovely people so far.
Very good. Well, I hope that we're up to your very specific expectations. As which Varys says, all right, well, this way, we don't want to keep him waiting. And he goes this way. Don't mind the pots.
Agnes is struggling with a touchpad.
Varys then opens up the door here. This way. There's a lot of clutter in this particular area, like a lot of crates down here. Just try not to break everything. We're still we're still organising ourselves here. Can we please get this place cleaned up a little? We have guests. And as you walk through into this new room, there are a lot of hay bales and baskets here, along with a bunch of other individuals, hooded, who are currently working. And what you can see, there's a hole in the ground ahead of you, and you can hear the sounds of running water beyond that. Apologies, we are, like I said, we are still very new to this place, so we haven't properly sorted it out yet. But Dargon is right through here.
Thank you.
This way. Dargon, as you can see, I have brought our new guests. And as you walk into this room, you see a few individuals, but two of them really stand out. One of them is a pure elf, with a black robe and whitened skin, who is currently leaning over a quill and paper and just writing a few things down. But she stops to look at you, and she's actually she's quite beautiful in a noble kind of way. And there is another person, a hulking individual. This is a Goliath. Completely bald head, lots of tattoos. I'm talking raging, like 90s X-Man's six-pack sort of thing. And he is just he's currently got a mug of ale in his hands, and he's just watching all of you walk in. There are lots of bits and pieces all over this place. Dargon. These are the people I was just talking to you about. They've given their word that they will not be sharing anything that they see here with anybody outside of the Order. So, would you like to tell them what it is we're all about? Dargon is just looking at all of you. And as you sort of stare at him, you get the feeling that this person is... just taking the measure of him is very dangerous. As in, he looks like he's the type of person that if he got into a scrap with someone, he'd be very, very hard to kill.
How tall are we talking? Like 8 foot, like proper Goliath?
Yeah, proper Goliath, like 8.5, nearly 9 feet. He puts his mug down on the ground. Goes, so, come. You sit. You wish ale? I bring ale.
That would be a nice change in this world. A nice mug of ale.
For a mug.
You pour it. And this individual over here picks up a bunch of glasses with a cask full of ale and starts pouring it down. We found this washed up on a beach maybe about a week ago. Good stuff.
When did we get it? A week
Anyone do
ago.
a shipwreck?
That's fair. I mean, if you found it, you found it. We certainly weren't drinking it, being shipwrecked.
So, Valis has told me you would like to hear what the new order is all about.
Very much.
Well, to put it very simply, we are a people who believe that the new world is ours by right. There is a lot of place here, ripe with discovery, ripe with riches and magics we have not ever seen. However, we cannot acquire these. Why, you may ask? Because the people above are so concerned with killing each other that we cannot function very well. So, I decide that We need to facilitate things. Get them to work together at all costs. And then, when they finally do this, we can truly utilize the resources of this settlement and take what is ours.
And do you have a plan for getting the settlements to work together?
Well, it really depends on whether or not you wish to join us. Do you want any magics that this place has to offer? Do you want gems and riches? We have them. You wish new weapons for yourself? We have them. You wish artifacts and magical items? Spell scrolls? We have them. You want money? We have it. You want to know where to find the best loot? We know. We have dedicated our entire being to figuring out all the little bits of information of the immediate area and beyond. Drusilla here is good at the history stuff. Goes a little over my head. But she has been able to make some good discoveries, have you not? And Miss Drusilla sort of leans up and starts stroking her chin a little, and she goes, "Yes, I've come to be aware of a great many secrets of this place. It could be yours if you're willing to do your part in raising the new order. So, here is my proposal to you. You can have access to as much money as you want, as much food and as much wine, as much men and as much women as you want. You can have access to as much magic and as much power and as much battle as you want. All we need in return is for you to declare your loyalty to the new order and assist us as we achieve our goals."
I'm gonna pull my hood down and sort of shake out the silvery hair on my head and look up to this Goliath of a man, literally, and just a few questions before we make a decision here.
Speak.
You say by right. Is that because you are here or because you have claimed the land?
Because we are strongest. 'Tis the way of nature that the weak bend to the strong. The weak must be ruled. The weak must be guided, lest they kill themselves or others kill them. I would wish to protect their meaningless lives.
I insight that.
Go right ahead. It's a bit difficult for you to get a read on him at the moment.
Very hard to read.
How long has your organization been in these parts? Because what you've done is impressive, to say the least.
Oh, we all have our skills and abilities that I utilized in order to build this little hideaway for us. It was actually Varys over there who managed to find some agreeable individuals and bring them here. And together, we have built this organization over the course of a month. We got here right around as the Star Settlement was beginning to take root.
It's impressive work for a month. We've been here. Did you say we've been here a week?
Yes.
Yeah. We've been here a week, if not less. And
the engineers of Star's Legacy know what they are doing. I'll give them that.
And you have access to both sides' workers and resources?
There are many on both sides who agree with our vision and have declared their loyalty for us.
So I'm guessing from what you're telling me, you are aware of the natives of this land, as we are.
What do you know?
We've run afoul of a centaur, a giant
centaur.
troll.
Varus, what do we know of a centaur? Not yet much, but I'd be more than happy to learn from you people. Drusilla, have your readings uncovered anything of a centaur? If there are, I haven't discovered yet. There's so much to read, and I've only one pair of eyes. Of course. Read away. Bury yourself in your books. You talk as much as you want to talk, and you all can do what you wish, but at the end of the day, I, Dargon Gondar, am in charge.
Just turn to everyone else and just sort of look and what do you all think?
A lot to take in. Do you need an answer right away?
I would appreciate one.
You offer so much, Dargon, and yet nothing in this world is free. What would you want from us?
As I have already explained, I would require your assistance. We have a town to unify. We have places to plunder. We have mines to build. We have places to explore. And most importantly, we have riches to take. Your skill set, from what Varus tells me, would be very agreeable for us.
What's your plans for the people we meet, the boys who live here?
Am I to assume that you will be swearing loyalty then?
You offer a lot, and it's I have to admit, making people survive seems like a cause
Only
beyond
if
its own.
we are the real deal. Only a fool would deny such a good offer when there really aren't many other opportunities to be had.
I want to ask. I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna say, what do you know of the trading company, the Vivos Trading Company? And I want to watch his reaction to how he answers it.
I'm making an insight check.
Please roll well. No.
He's got a very stoic expression that if he did reveal anything, you didn't catch it. The Vivos Trading Company. What business do you have with them, then?
Well, people just don't get along. We just don't get along with them.
I can assure you that the Vivos Trading Company does not operate anywhere near this area. We've never seen them around here.
We have reason to believe they are here.
Well, what proof do you have of this?
The ale you collected on the beach, was it by a wrecked ship by any chance?
I do not know. One of the others brought it in.
Is it in your records? Is it,
Drusilla,
I
did you
looked-
write about the ale?
I did not. It was a find.
Where was it again? It wasn't too far away from New Uranium, was it?
Yeah, it was about a day's north along the beach from New Uranium.
If you were to send some of your well-connected people about a day north of New Uranium, you would find the remains of the ship we came in on. We were sunk near the coast of this island.
And you survived, did you?
Through the kindness of a very well.
At this point, Enron, you've been able to make your way down the stairs.
Okay, thanks.
Yay!
Charlotte's Web over here coming down.
So please continue, Buck.
Oh, where was I? What was his name? I wrote that down. Oh, that was it, Monty.
Yeah, Monty.
I feel transparency works in situations, but you have to understand that with the little you tell me, telling you of our time here is difficult.
Well, what more needs to be said with a business transaction? I have promised you anything you could possibly want in the new world, and in return we will require your aid to achieve our goals. That is the proposal. If you wish to know more, swear loyalty and we shall reveal all.
And I'm guessing that your end goal is also part of swearing allegiance.
My end goal is to conquer the new world, as it rightfully should be. You all came here seeking something similar, did you not? You came here to overcome, discover, find something. Varys, use your words, explain to them.
Prefer the word explore for what we came here for.
Well, exploring is what we do. We send out our people to find, look at certain areas as we map the immediate area. And sometimes we find something and bring it back here. We catalogue it. We discover what it is and what it can do. And yes, we are learning as we go. You could certainly be a part of that.
And when you run into anything, either travellers from the old world or natives that don't want you taking what they found?
We haven't run into any natives. That's the thing. We've only found predators, and we send out groups of people to deal with them swiftly enough. Should we come into any actual natives, then of course we would refer to Dargon here and make a decision based upon that. We're not in the habit of just wiping out a people because they're there.
Can I insight that?
Go right ahead.
I'll join in on that as well.
Depends, can you roll higher than a 10?
So 17.
Hey!
And I would use lucky on that.
You said. Well, then that brings it. That'll bring it to the 15 then. Okay, so Agnes and Bark, as you're staring at Varys, you get the feeling what he just said was truthful, but he's clearly holding things back.
because we've not accepted the contract.
Yeah.
If you do not want these amazing gifts that we offer, then just say so, and you may go. Nothing keeps you here.
The problem is that there was someone else that we came with who is actually stood outside, and someone else who went off somewhere and was got lost. And we kind of come as a package deal, so we want to try to speak with them as well.
Varus.
Oh, if they did not agree to keep what you see here a secret, then we would humbly request that you do not share this information with them.
I promise not to tell them anything.
Well, you've
I
already
don't actually know the Smart Hawks here.
Well, you've already made your word, so...
And upon hearing what you've had to say, we would like to try and persuade the others to take the same vow that we did.
Make a persuasion roll, Agnes.
You have the night to do this.
Your patience is appreciated.
Yes.
If they do not agree, however, please let them know. I want you to know that they will then become a target.
Fair enough.
A door behind Dargon opens up, and you see a well-tanned man walk inside with golden armor, who walks up to Dargon and starts whispering in his ear. And Dargon looks at him and just goes, Agnes, you recognize this person. This is Maxwell Sandscape, and he was one of the people that used to work for Baron von Guts. And he was directly responsible for the sacking and burning of Mud's Crater.
Oh, wow.
Very good. Go.
Yes, my lord.
Well then, you have the night. I would offer you our beds, but you are not part of this order yet. Varus, escort them out.
Yes, Dargon, of course. Well, gentlemen and ladies, shall we go?
Yeah.
Before we go, I'd just like to extend a hand to Dargon and just give him the shake of thank you for seeing us.
I want you to make a general charisma check, please.
Oh, God.
I only shake hands with allies and those who are worthy to call themselves my equal. You have proven neither.
Yep, I'm kind of amazed. Yeah, all right, fair. Who should we look out for in the morning to give our word to?
Varus will come speak to you.
Then tomorrow it is. Thank you.
And at this point, as the door is opening, Emron, you've finally gotten to the point where the door is opening and Agnes and Isaac are walking out.
So the spider's
Yes.
going to try to jump on someone's coattail. Can't bear spending all that time to walk back upstairs again, or wherever they're going.
Just done a marathon, the poor little thing.
With your stealth, you're high enough to be able to jump on. You'll beat everybody's passive perception, so they won't notice a spider jumping on them.
Yeah, I'll just hang on tight.
Good thing too, because I would have patted someone's coat down real hard if I saw a spider on it.
So Varys starts leading you all out.
Come along now.
Sparhawk, do you leave?
I'm leaving, yes, but I'm just being very slowly behind the rest of them.
Right.
While we're leaving, is there anything that can be perceived? Is there anything that we
can perceive you're in a building?
There's nothing out and about that we can like catch glimpses of, though.
So you're looking for something that's like interesting and like out of the ordinary.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't completely buying everything that he was saying. So just in general, looking for anything that might give me any more clues as to really what's going on.
I want you to make an investigation check, please.
Never mind.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary beyond the crates and the herbs.
I don't notice.
See Agnes hyperventilating. That is about it.
So, Cora, you begin on your way. And as you walk past now, she says,
I hope you all have a pleasant evening.
We'll try.
as you walk past. Cora, she begins moving, and as you walk past, she immediately blocks the doorway. And Sparhawk, you have to stop before you walk into her. And she's looking at you, like at you.
Oh.
Does anybody besides Isaac know that Sparhawk is invisible with us?
No. His sleight of hand was very high. So as the rest of you keep on walking, and lead you upstairs and away, the rest of you do not notice Sparhawk is being blocked passage as this tiefling looks at you.
Mexican standoff.
So, I know I can't see you, but I can smell you and I can hear you. Would you like to drop this silly disguise before you get into more trouble?
Ironically, he actually can't.
I'm afraid I cannot.
Very well.
And she goes to move her hands.
I'm going to step forward and put my hand over her mouth and push her backwards.
Doing that will break your invisibility, just so you know, because you'll be interacting with somebody else.
I don't think that matters at this point.
Okay.
Although, having said that, I still have to get out of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll step backwards into this room. She can smell me and hear me, but she can't see me, so I'll just try and step back into here.
Oh shit.
Right, well, that's... As you tried to step away, since you didn't immediately move in to get her, and cover her mouth, she's able to cast that on your location. And that does get rid of your invisibility. So you wouldn't be able to get back into that room before she sees you completely.
Okay.
Ah, there you are. So, did you like what you see inside?
Not really.
Well, that is a shame. You did not take the oath to come in here, did you?
Can any of us?
No, you guys are gone.
We can't hear her. Okay.
Well, that means that does not compel you underneath the spells that we've placed on this place.
So it would seem.
Yes. Well, Unfortunately, that brings us to a bit of an impasse, so I shall give you the opportunity to swear that vow now.
Jack, what are you doing to me?
Just promise and say out loud that you will not share any information or anything you have seen about this place with anybody outside the new order. Just say the words, and I shall let you go. And Sparhawk, you would innately get the measure of this individual, and while she does look a little frail, when she moved her fingers and as that magic cast out of her, you get in that moment you got a sense of her, and this person is also very dangerous.
Problem is, you don't know how stubborn Sparhawk is.
Oh, come on.
I've got to play it to character.
Yeah, do it.
He doesn't make oaths, so he doesn't mean to keep. They're sacred to him.
Oh shit.
Felt the magic being dispelled.
You would feel your concentration being broken, yes.
So could I turn to the rest of the group and say, we've got a problem?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I will
Yes.
not make an oath that I do not believe in. To me, an oath is a sacred thing.
Well, then not an oath, a promise. Maybe it's the wrong words to use, but just simply promise us that you will not be telling anybody else outside of this building. Are you a man of your word?
I am.
Then you will either say yes to this, or you will say no to this. Which one will you say?
I promise not to speak of this outside of this building.
Excellent. You may go.
And she steps aside.
Have a good evening.
Okay.
And she watches you very carefully as you make your way onwards. The rest of you were brought outside, brought up to the entrance. So Sparhawk is not there. Emron is there. So Varys is escorting you out. And he says, well, I certainly hope you will take us up on our offer and our proposal. I do genuinely believe that we can do a lot of good with each other.
You have a lot to offer us. You've given us a lot to think about.
And, the icing on the cake is we have real beds. I think we're the only place in both settlements that have real beds.
Are we sleeping? Oh, real beds here. Okay. Back in Uranium, there's beds in the inn because we're sleeping there.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I hope good is what you're aiming to do here.
Good can be done, but we have a mission that we want to achieve. It's not a matter of morality, it is a matter of we need to do it, and we can do it, so we will do it.
I can appreciate that. Give us the night.
Please have a very good night, and I shall see you all in the morning.
And as you start to step away, Isaac, your concentration's been broken.
So I just tap Vorkris and say, we've got a big problem here. I snuck Barhawk in, and I think they've just found him.
Well, that wasn't very clever.
Well, I didn't want him to be left out, and I thought I'd give him the option he could follow or...
I mean, it was his choice to be left out. All he had to do was promise not to talk about it. If he wasn't willing to do that, and he didn't get to see all the fun things, which wasn't really that much. Yet.
I think he's in a lot of trouble.
There's not a lot I could do because I have no slots. or I can send a message to Sparhawk. So I will do that. I will
clonk, clonk, clonk. You see Sparhawk ascend from the
I
stairs.
think we found him.
Wenus and Varys are immediately like, who are you? Wenus is immediately like got a dagger in his hand and is like on guard.
He could see me before I walked out the door initially, wouldn't he?
Oh yes. Oh yes. So I'll redact then. I say, how did you get in there? And Wenus is still on guard.
Seems you don't know everything.
Guess Wenos isn't as observant as he thinks he is.
I thought we had an agreement. Going back on your word like this makes me want to go to Dargon and just have him retract the entire offer.
What word?
Sorry, what did you say, Sparhawk?
What word?
Words that you wouldn't... No, I don't think you heard me right.
Fear not, I've spoken the promise.
Oh, you have? Well then,
Your
that
tiefling's
makes-
very persuasive.
Oh yes, nature, she certainly is a charm. I was quite lucky to find her before she wandered off into the wilderness.
So may I pass?
Of course. But, I just want you to know that, you've hurt my feelings. I thought we had an arrangement. I thought we had a little bit of trust building on each other, and by doing this, you've hurt my heart.
That's a shame.
Well, that being said, since you've made the promise, I assume you lot have a lot to talk about, so please leave, and I shall speak to you in the morning. And with that, you all have the opportunity to leave this warehouse.
On the way out, I'd like to ask Wenos what groups and institutions and people he worked for previously.
Oh, have you joined us then?
We're going to have a conversation.
Well, I'll tell you everything you want to know, love, if you join us. He smiles.
Are you a cobra?
A cobra? No, I'm not a snake.
Okay.
I'm a halfling. Did you go to school wherever you came from?
I just look at Wenos and just go, very literal halfling, aren't you?
Well, I've never had anybody ask me if I'm a cobra before.
Right.
You
Yeah.
might not have guessed this, but I'm not a very imaginative person.
Yeah, neither's the Dragonborn.
Well, bye.
I'll be seeing you, Wenos.
I'm sure. And with that,
Look forward
the
to seeing you
party-
again.
Indeed. And with that, the party leaves the warehouse and goes back into Star's Independence. So, what do you guys want to do?
I want to leave now.
Yeah, I think we'd leave
I
town
need to leave.
and go to our little camp.
Straight for the gates.
Camp that Sparhawk slaves have made for us. Oh, he's not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that, I would say you guys are immediately make your way outside of the settlement to the about 1,000 yards or 1,000 feet outside of it, where you can see the retainers. They're not trying to hide or anything. They are currently out in the plains at the moment, so you can clearly see Gloria and these people setting up something of a camp. Firewood has been gathered and they've already started the fire as the sun is beginning to set now.
Hey, you gonna bring a cake up for yourself?
So I would say it's it won't be much. It takes you about half for them to get there, and collectively from when you started it, everyone, I'd say it's right around now that your wild shape ceases to be. So, who were you holding on to?
I think I was holding on to Chris's cloak. He's got a big cloak, hasn't he?
All right. So, yes.
Where did you come from?
So, Vorkris, you're walking along, and all of a sudden you collapse down to the ground. There's the body of Emron is sitting on your legs.
God fucking damn it!
Ooh, sorry about that. I couldn't hold on anymore. So I thought I won't.
Well, I couldn't carry you either.
I thought I'd hang on to it as long as possible so no one sees me, changing back. So, wow, did you guys see all those herbs down there? That's as far as I got. I don't think I've seen much of those before. And
There's some lovely herbs that I definitely need some of.
What did they say?
We'll talk about it when we get to camp.
Okay.
I'm guessing we probably can't.
You're basically.
Oh, okay.
Your retainers greet you, Sparhawk. Harold is super excited. He says, "I've got more firewood than the rest of them, sir. Oh, it's ready for you. I hope it makes you nice and warm."
Sparhawk's quite pale and withdrawn. Is well done, son.
Are you all right, Mr. Spark? Are you unwell? Are you going to die? Oh no!
It's been a very long day.
I'm gonna push past this little retainer boy. Put my hand inside, at the top of the neck where Sparhawk's armor is. I'm just gonna pull him forward and just go, "What exactly were you planning doing that? What were you thinking?"
Well, hold on. That was me. That was my decision.
I don't care whose decision it was. You just risked everything.
Well,
okay.
I thought we needed somebody on the inside who could actually talk freely about this without being under some restrictions.
And
I thought it'd work.
We all have to make the pact because he's had to make it.
I haven't made any pact. I've just promised not to speak about it.
Which is basically the word they told us to say. Join the pact, don't talk about what you said.
You've all made that promise already to get down the stairs.
We have made no such promise. That's what tonight's about. Tomorrow's decision day.
No, we did make that promise.
No, we did.
made the promise,
the promise that you were going to speak to anything you saw outside of the.
Oh, I thought she made him sign up.
No.
No. She made him. Made the promise.
That's right. Okay, I thought she made him.
Believe me, if it was signing up, Spark would either be a prisoner or dead now. He wouldn't have done that.
You'd be a
Or
prisoner.
free. Be optimistic. You'd have fought your way out.
No.
He'd be dead.
I definitely didn't say anything or sign anything, you guys.
Yeah, but how much did you get to see, Mr. M1?
Well, I saw some really great herbs in this tiefling. And then and then the corridor with people doing stuff in crates.
So you can tell the world about some plants and some crates. That sounds useful.
You have now violated the contract.
I was going to say, we can't tell Emron anything, can we?
I thought the spell prevented us from doing that.
No.
She claimed there was a spell.
It just means they know that we've done it.
Okay. That's all right. I wasn't going to work with them anyway.
I mean, Vorkis, I'm actually really struggling because Vorkis would 100% join them.
To do it.
But I don't want to.
Well, make the argument as Vorkis, because I assume your priorities are with the party. So I would then say, well, Vorkis would then make a passionate argument as to why it would be a good idea to join them.
These guys, there's obviously something very dodgy about them, but just the wealth of knowledge they have. Did you see how many books that elf had? I could just spend my life in that one room alone reading all those books. It would be amazing. I'd never have to leave it again. I could learn all about the new world and not face any danger. Phenomenal.
If she got all that information in the 1 month that she's been here, certainly you could do the same.
I don't think we quite have the resources that they have, and it does concern me why they have these resources. But, there's always someone in charge. Why not make them Our friends for a change, rather than running and hiding from the people in charge like we're doing the VTC.
If we were concerned about legacy wanting independence to bend the knee, what makes these people any better?
They didn't ask to, be subservient. They asked to be loyal. There's a difference between an oath of loyalty and bending the knee.
They want everyone to be underneath them.
With them, not underneath them. They want everyone to be on their side. They don't want to control
sign
them.
up. It's death, isn't it?
I mean, we didn't sign up. We're not dead.
Yet. They did say if we couldn't convince our friend who was outside to join, they were going to put a mark on him.
Sparhawk's going to obviously still be upfront with Bark, and he'll say it was a risk. There was no planning. There was no time for planning, and I will admit it was a risk. But I would not have signed up for that. I would not have risked the rest of you. I would have sacrificed myself first. Are we good?
You shouldn't be sacrificing yourself at all. I've watched you being chewed by at least 2 different animals, and now you go sneaking around inside. Bases we don't know invisible.
It seems to be a flaw of mine.
Well, you know what they say about nobles, they're not so much upstairs, are they?
If you find any plate armor, point me at it.
We're good, you just make me worry.
I made myself worry. It's fine. But I will say as well that I do not feel there is any offer they could make that I would be able to work with these people. Their talk of conquest is anathema to what I have trained my whole life to stand against.
What is your oath exactly? Talk about it a lot, but you don't go into detail.
It's a complex oath, but the essence of it is to protect the innocent, to ensure justice and order is maintained. And these people wish to just take what they want and kill anybody in their way.
In their defense, they never said kill.
Well, taking what they want is enough. That is not justice.
I mean, we all take from the world. Legacy's doing it. The rich guys over there are doing it. They want from each other and they want from the land.
You believe that the strong prevail and the weak fail?
That's nature.
Yes.
Simple as that.
That's the law of the land. Do you think that apex predator would have thought twice about ripping us all into 3 or 4 different pieces and eating us? He's the strongest. There go, he wins. Now he
was the
doesn't,
strongest
wasn't.
the weekend one. Yeah.
Nature is survival.
Right, Peter can't think of the word. What's the word when someone's... he's not a sentient beast. With a soul, with a conscience.
Sentient.
Sentient, yeah.
All right,
can I
then.
just quickly ask you guys, I don't really know what you're talking about here, but when we first met that Varys guy down, over the bridge, he was talking about unifying both sides. Was there anything mentioned about that at all? How that was going to be done? If that's going to be done?
If you replace the word unify with subjugate, then he was telling the truth.
I mean, he never said that.
Yeah, if you replace the word subject,
he gave that impression.
The big guy downstairs effectively said that. He specifically said he was here to conquer.
Conquer the New World in general, not here. Not this settlement. He wants his settlement to be working together and to be unified so that he can use their resources. And yes, I do believe he needs to use them, but people get used. It's the way of the world. I'd rather be used.
That is something I don't think I can do.
I'd rather be used voluntarily than used against my will.
Cora, Agnes, and Ron, do you have anything to chime in here?
Go on.
I'm just sitting here perseverating on the fact that Wenus basically offered up capturing me and selling me, and having just met everybody and then going through a battle, feeling like we might have some kinship, retreating back into my own self, not knowing who I can trust. So Cora is just gonna look around and say, I don't know what to think. I came over here to escape being hunted and looking to heal. The idea of unifying sounded great, but working with people who would sell me or capture and kill me as soon as they would do anything else doesn't make me feel great about what these people are about.
Please don't worry, Cora. I'm not going to let that happen to you. You know, you're a great friend of ours now. You know, I will make sure personally no danger comes to you, and I would definitely come to your aid if anything happens.
I would also say the same. I know that I'm tempted by the people's offer, but I would not allow them to hurt you.
I'm just going to walk up to Cora next to her. I'm just going to put my hand in hers and squeeze it and just go, you may not trust us or know us particularly well, but one day you will know why I say what I say. But trust me when I say nothing will ever happen to you under my watch. Ever.
And with that, she'll just start dissolving into tears and can't speak anything.
Agnes, do you have anything to chime in at this point?
I have a lot of things to chime in. I was waiting for everyone else to be done, to be fair.
Do it. Do it.
Let's go.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
I can't. No, I meant I can't stand up to him. I can't stand up to it at all.
Yes, you can.
No, I fucking can't.
Stick with the power.
No.
Would we have seen? Sorry, I was just going to say, would we have seen the expression on Agnes's face when that other gentleman walked in? Would we have picked up on that?
It would have been blatantly obvious, and she licked
that
it.
she was staring at him. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I was part of this amazing group of people when we go traveling around the country, and my town originally there was some baron, some arse hat baron, and he put the taxes up so my parents couldn't afford anything anymore. So as a joke, when we went around there for a year's time, we pulled a prank on him and broke into his house and stole his rapier, and I point down to the rapier, I have it now. However, when we went back a year later to go and do our annual show, he basically killed and burnt the whole town, including my 5 sisters. They're all dead to my knowledge. I saw them all dead, and I don't want anything to do with him. The fact that a noble is independent in the first place kind of makes me squiff. So I'm just noping this.
Just a correction. You only saw that individual who worked for Von Guts. You don't know if he was a noble or not. You don't know if Von Guts is here.
Shiny gold armor sounds quite noble.
As soon as you said the shiny armor, before you said anything else, I was going to ask if I recognised that armor from anywhere, because it didn't make sense for armor like that to be in Independence.
No, it does not make sense. So armor like that can only be found in the old world, as far as you know. The specific kind of design that it was suggests that it was made in the area of the mud crater. It had the kind of designs that It's quite similar to the designs of your clothing, actually, which suggests that this individual was at least native to Mud Crater. However, you distinctively remember seeing him burning and killing and leading during the assault on Mud Crater. You were able to get away by hiding, I believe, weren't you?
Yes, I ran, basically.
Yeah. So that's how you saw him during that process, along with a whole bunch of other fleeing civilians. So that's where you recognise him from. There are a few people whose faces you remember. His face is one of the more clearer faces you remember.
Yeah, but not for the right reasons.
No.
So the fact that he's here, the fact that he's liaisoning with these people that I was skeptical with when we first met, and then I was like, oh yeah, great, these people sound like they could potentially do good, and I've seen the riffraff bag of crap that this guy is now dealing with. I'm not there. I'm not there at all. I go and sit next to Sparhawk as in like a silent protest that we kind of like sisters stick together.
Sisters indeed.
Hopefully this is the right opportunity to talk about this.
Yeah.
There's quite a few discoveries that I found since we've been here as the doggy. Well, first of all, when we spoke with Arano, when we all left, I kind of had a quick one-to-one with him after you guys left. And I shared that we experienced the VTC here already, which created a bit of panic for him. And he was going to put forward his strike against Legacy sooner than he was planned. Okay? And then when we crossed over the bridge, and I was a corgi, while you guys spoke to the leader in the white suit, I snuck into his office, and he's got a battle plan to invade Independence in 10 days. So I guess, in the context of everything that's going on, there is like a ticking time bomb happening. And I'm not sure whether that will put the people downstairs in a really advantageous situation for what they want to happen. Because if both sides burn each other down, then they have pretty much run of the mill, haven't they? If conquering is their plan. But I just want to throw that in there, just so that whatever decision everyone makes tomorrow, we have to bear in mind that there is battle plans being set in place. As if we haven't got enough to think about. So what to do first, everyone?
What do you make of them, Spider-Man?
I think, I think what's important is that we should settle the temperature between the two sides. That kind of is quite an important thing. But I'm not sure. Maybe we can do that alongside with the while the negotiations happening with the people downstairs, if that's what we're calling them from now on. Yeah, I kind of think the longer we leave it, the more it'll escalate, and we can't turn anything back.
Copy your thoughts, Isaac.
I'm definitely not for joining them after hearing Agnes, and she obviously doesn't trust him, and they were quite happily to sell Cora. No, I don't want nothing to do with them.
I've done well in this new world and this voyage over here, sticking with you guys. I won't go against your wishes. I'm just lust after the knowledge that they must hold. I love to read.
We'll find you something better, don't you worry.
I must admit, the plants downstairs look amazing from what I could see as a spider. But from what I'm hearing from you guys, it feels like, we'd be joining mobsters, whatever they are.
Mobsters, lobsters, mob.
I think we have to at least try and be diplomatic between the two sides first. If they, even if we can't do anything, it's, the New Order will take over whatever remains. Because they're going to go, as Embon said, 5 days and 10 days. That's nothing. We need to try something in those X amount of days before something starts.
Do any of us truly believe that this new order have the town's best interests at heart?
I'm not sure I believe anyone here has the town's best interests at heart. Everyone just seems to be looking out for themselves, to be fair.
Do we not?
Well, okay, yes, but we've just got it.
But yeah, it's just the way that, people have to make their own money by the end of the week so they can pay to stay in their houses to keep a roof over their heads. They do have their own interests at heart because they've got nothing else. Exactly. Unfortunately, when it is like this, the survival comes first.
So
then why are we not siding with the people who will help everyone survive?
How about if we could unify this town before these people unify this town? If we can
do nothing, they steamroll everything, and we're not in on the ground floor.
I don't believe that the New Order has got the people's best interests at heart. I believe that the New Order has got the New Order's best interests at heart and lining their own pockets from whoever has got money on the ground, whether it be this side or that side. They don't care about the sides. They just want money.
Does Star's legacy not want exactly the same thing? Do the rich people not just want to be rich? Do the townsfolk not just want to be free and also rich, just their own way? They don't... It seems I'm outvoted, but this seems like too good of an opportunity to not work with people who can affect things properly.
If legacy and independence work
Isaac,
together,
Cora, do you have anything to chime in on this one?
I was Cora's just sitting there thinking that it's an awfully painful predicament because we came here to find Gareth and seek aid, and that piece is done. And in the meantime, we decided that we wanted to unify these settlements for the betterment of each other. And now we've been approached by this other organization that seems to also want the unification of the two settlements, but at a different cost. So if we go with our guts and unify the two settlements, which is what we had, I think, all kind of aligned with or we're thinking about, then we are in fact aiding the people downstairs, whether we like it or not.
Isaac, do you have anything to say on this part?
Yeah, to quote Vorkus, if it sounds too good to be true, and the new order do seem too good to be true.
I accept this, but some things are worth the high cost, and the pursuit of knowledge is always good. But again, I will side with the party. I mean, if we are not to go with them, then surely the best plan of action is to get some sleep and to go to both sides tomorrow and try and hammer out some kind of accord between them. In which case, the order will not have to get involved because the town is working together. Maybe they'll just go off and do their own thing somewhere else, and I'm sure we'll run into them at some point down the line. because, it's just what happens. But
Am I that predictable?
no, I'm just saying that's future Vorkus's problem.
I just want to highlight, if the New Order has a good intention in their hearts, why are they such a secret underground organization? It doesn't quite make sense to me. If really they have, harmony, prosperity as the aim, not for themselves but for everyone.
I
They
would
could
be
be hoarders.
They could be hoarders.
I would
Good.
be interested to hear what each side has opinion on the New Order is.
Well, they
I'm
probably
assuming they don't know anything
about
about them. Yeah, or the people that would speak to us would either not know anything or would pretend not to know anything in public when we speak to them.
And we gave our word not to say anything to anybody outside, right?
Indeed.
We've already broke a lot,
Apparently, I've already broken by speaking to M1, but
it.
by describing what M1 saw himself, I have broken the word. Damn. But then we can't really say that because they don't know M1 was there. So, catch 22. Guess
They're
I'm
not
fucked.
psychics.
I know nothing.
Sparhawk, I believe you wanted to speak to Buck.
If the two sides of this settlement are so disparate and it's going to be so difficult to unify them, and if we try and fail, what means do you imagine the New Order will use to force unity upon them?
Honestly, I don't know, because they won't tell us unless we give our word. But it seems to me this is the kind of organization that's going to do what they're going to do, whether we agree to be part of it or not. And I would rather know exactly what's happening, where and how, than not know, be surprised, and watch 2 cities crumble. We're 6 people, 7. Sorry, I keep forgetting you're not a dog, Emron. What real sway do we have in this
What
place? We kill a few
happens
beasts.
if we
Karen, sorry.
What happens that it is not what we think it is? What then?
Then at least we know. And in whatever way we can start affecting change. Small or large, that's how it works. That's how civilizations go. You start at the bottom and you work your way to the top.
I didn't come to the New World to be part of a gang of crooks and criminals and basically what I was before.
I don't know then. I can't think or speak for any of you. It's a big ask and it's a big decision, but Legacy hates independence and independence hates Legacy. They chuck mud at Sparhawk when they come through, and the posh ones call you a whore. They're never going to get on because they don't want to get on. What's an orc, a couple of humans, and a dragonborn going to do about that? We've been here a week. We slayed 1 beast. Do you really think we've got the gumption to get 2 rival settlements together and not have it result in the deaths of many men, women, children? One side prospering over the other. What you don't want to have happen. Because it will happen. One side's going to win. There's always winners.
If we can prevent the New Order from winning overall, that'd be fantastic. We have to at least try without these people, because we don't know who else associating. The fact that there is someone here who is in shining gold armor in Independent side, that seems dodgy to me in the first place. We don't know who is behind this order anyway. We don't know where it's come from. We don't know who it is. We need to at least try negotiating ourselves first. If we can't do it, and they are stubborn as I believe they're going to be, we can revisit this conversation. But right now, I can't put my trust in anyone. Any one of them.
Well, I don't believe the offer is going to stand after tomorrow morning. If it does, then fantastic. But if we say no, I'm guaranteed, I'm pretty sure that means no forthwith. And then we have an entire company against us again, like we did before.
Still here?
Yeah, we might very well be. But you saw what happened to the windmill with all those bugbears. You saw what is happening here because people bring old shit from the new world.
You haven't seen any bugbears, they were owlbears.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to correct you.
No, it's fine, yeah. It's more, I believe we're good at our individual tasks, but unifying an entire land takes more power than what we have at our disposal.
If we're against joining the Order, what else do we do? Do we just pack up and fuck off and leave them to it? That doesn't seem very fitting. I mean, it's the sort of thing I do, to be fair. You can quite happily convince me to do that.
All I'm saying is what's going to happen between these two cities is going to happen whether we're here or not, and which side we're on couldn't make all the difference. I would just rather be on the side that seems to have the resources to make change.
In the words of a great man called Malcolm Reynolds, sometimes it may have been the losing side, but you can't convince me it was definitely the right one. So the winning side is not always the right side to be on. And I'm a man of very few principles, and I still believe that.
I'm outvoted. So if you all are against the new order,
I believe well, that puts us on to the next part. I believe the party now has a choice to make. Would you like to put into the chat, what do you think is the next course of action to do? Join the Order, speak with the leaders, or leave? Okay. Okay, so after a hot debate, a great number of conversations are had, party, before they retire for the evening, come to the agreement that the next best course of action is to speak with the leaders and try to see if it's able to bring them together to come to terms to pursue a peace. And with that, you would all turn in for the evening. Now, since you're not actually in the settlement, would you want to set up a watch for tonight?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you want us? Who's going to take first, second, and third watch, basically?
I'll take second. I'll do darkest part of the night.
I'll do first watch.
Okay.
Why not?
I'll take the last one.
All right. Does anybody want to double up at all, or do you just want to do it solo?
I'll double up with Sparhawk.
I can.
Does anybody want to watch with me?
Yeah, I'll sit with you.
Right. And then, is anybody going to be joining Bark in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So, everyone, you have a night to yourself.
Yay!
You have the night off. Night off from work, lovely.
After that marathon he had to do running across the floor as a spider, he's probably really tired.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, running as a spider would burn a lot of calories, I imagine. So, as you all eat into your rations, so mark off that you've eaten a day's rations, of course. And and the evening comes to about, everybody turns into a rest. However, Vorkris and Isaac stay up to begin the first watch. So can I get... So either both of you can roll perception check, or one of you can roll out advantage. It's your choice.
I don't know what yours is, but I'm always game for both of us doing it. It feels more realistic.
Yeah, okay. It's fine with me.
Roll perception.
But, I always roll dog shit anyway, so it doesn't make any difference.
I got it killed.
You
Oh,
rolled
hey.
double.
Okay, so as the evening progresses onwards, Isaac, you hear a couple of strange bird calls, but nothing untoward comes your way. No dangers, no anything. You don't detect anything hostile towards you. Is there anything you guys want to roleplay before bringing up the second watch?
Just want to question why, it seems like a very risky move to make Sparhawk invisible then.
Just thought we needed somebody who wouldn't be under the influence of that magic. And
I get it, I can see the logic, but I mean, that nearly backfired in a big way.
I know.
Sparhawk's a stubborn bastard. If he'd refused to make that fucking vow, he wouldn't be here.
That's what I said.
Then we've got to come back, tell all his slaves that he's dead. What do you do with dead people's slaves? I don't know.
Imagine they go free. You should. Well, you did see the look on my face when I realised they'd found him.
I did. Yes, you were definitely shocked. So sometimes that there is no time for thought and planning, and you just have to act, and I can get on board with that. I'm definitely a man of acting without thought and planning many a time, but was a risky business.
I'll consider it in future.
Okay, so sleep soon overcomes you, and you go to wake up the second watch. So, Ark and I believe it's Cora. Can I get one of you can roll at advantage, or both of you can roll perception checks?
Both? Yep.
Both. Wow. Wasted you two being together. Wasted.
Okay. So,
Amazing.
as the night goes onwards, and you see the greenish aurora borealis over the night sky stretching towards the mountains off into the distance, a sound does grab your attentions. Not from outside the camp, but from inside the camp. You look over to more of the side of the camp, and you can see somebody is sneaking away.
Can we discern size, shape?
Humanoid, medium.
Can
Right.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have eyes on everyone else in the party? Like we know that it's not one of our own?
You do a head count. There is one missing.
Who's missing?
Kurik.
Oh.
Follow after him.
Okay. So he is heading towards he is heading towards Star's Independence.
I assume it doesn't get any lighter the closer we get to Star's Independence.
There is torches from Star's Independence, so there's a little bit of light.
Yeah, I keep following after him.
Okay. Are you gonna stealth or are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna stealth it.
All right. Cora, are you going with him?
I was gonna look at Bark and say, "Do you want me to come with you or stay here?"
You can come if you like. It's good practice to be sneaky sometimes.
Okay.
Not that I probably will be now.
Okay, so you start sneaking off after Kurik. You get about 30 feet when Cora, you step on a massive twig that immediately snaps the whole thing, and the individual who's about 20-25 feet ahead of you immediately stops and just looks around. He can't see in the darkness. He goes, "Who's there?"
I know this guy. Like this guy is whoever he is, don't I?
Yeah, he's Sparhawk's retainer.
Which one? The old boy, old.
He's the teenager.
That
Yeah, okay. I'll make myself known to him. I'm gonna walk into and just go.
Oh, you scared me. Whoa.
Where are you off to in the middle of the night?
Master's armor is clean, and the Lord's is asleep. I was just gonna go knock on the door. That lovely lady I met earlier.
can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really want to believe him.
Go on.
He seems forthcoming. Sorry, man. It was I'm sure, if you were in my position, you'd do the same. I know you can't help looking that way, but I look after myself, and I should have the rewards,
I assume he's talking to me about that.
Yeah.
Cheeky little bastard, aren't you?
Well, I mean, sorry, I don't really know many Half-Orcs. Do they all have silver hair, or?
Family trait. I suggest you get back to camp unless you want me to tell your master where you've been going at night.
Oh, come on, man, come on.
Cora is a lady. Do you want to tell him? Or should I?
I think you should tell him.
Listen, boy, you don't go knocking on women's doors at night time. You do it properly. I might be an orc, but I have a sense of decorum. Get back to camp, get some sleep, and you're lucky I don't rat you out.
Make an intimidation check.
I have advantage on those, I think. Because I am an orc.
We just lost you there.
That's because my daughter started making noise, so I quickly shut off my microphone. I was going to say, I have guidance as a cantrip, that if I touch Bark, it gives him an extra
Is it friends? Oh, guidance.
Yeah, that he can add to an ability check if he wants.
If you want to roll that d4?
So I'm just going to, yep.
Yeah, I've got a proficient in intimidation because I'm menacing, so does that mean I have advantage?
Yeah. So you got the 16,
So
you can add a d4 to it.
You can, I don't think you have to.
Go for it. Let's make that a 19.
So that brings us to 19. So Kuruk looks at you and just goes, oh, yeah, alright then. Fucking old fogies. Oh.
And I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch him. I'm going to watch him like a fucking hawk as he's walking back.
Yeah, he walks back in a massive imagine Kevin, the teenager from Kevin and Perry. So unfair. Oh, so unfair. You're not my dad. I have to be adopted because my real parents couldn't possibly treat me as bad as you.
I am not your slave.
Oh, so unfair.
Nice.
Yeah, he's being a stroppy teenager at the moment, but he does come back to bed and he pouts for probably the next 4 hours, barely getting a wink of sleep, until eventually he can't hold it off any longer and he does go to sleep. However, aside from that, nothing else happens in the night.
Cool.
So, is there anything else you guys would like to roleplay before getting up the third watch?
Unless you've got anything, Cora, I'm good.
I just am going to take this opportunity to ask Bark, what, how did you, do you think we did the right thing? Do you think I did the right thing by stopping the ritual, the summoning?
Yeah, I mean, If you hadn't, what would have come out of it would have been under the control of those hobgoblins. And that would have been worse. You can put wild animals down faster than you can trained ones. You did good. Very good.
I'm just so torn with what to do.
That will come to the third watch of the night, which will be Sparhawk and Agnes. So,
I would set up light, by the way, the light cantrip, so I can see what is going on.
that's good. I was going to say you'd have to roll a disadvantage. So, Sparhawk and Agnes, one of you can roll perception at advantage, or you can both roll individual perceptions.
I'm happy to roll individual ones.
So you don't have disadvantage, Sparhawk, because of Agnes's light cantrip.
Oh.
10 and 14. Okay. So, if anything does happen, it doesn't happen that you can see. As far as you know, the night was quiet and uneventful. Is there anything you two would like to roleplay before the rest of the party wakes up? If you're speaking Sparhawk, I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear Sparhawk?
No,
Nope.
I think he's muted.
Nope.
Can you hear me
We
now?
cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, having been stood invisible in the room downstairs, Sparhawk wouldn't witness the reaction of Agnes as well. So he's just going to sort of stand fairly close to her during the watch and just say, "Are you okay? Will you be okay?"
Eventually. I ran pretty quick. I ran straight for the boat. I've had the whole boat journey to try and deal with it.
I don't think it's necessarily something that anyone would ever fully get over, but if you ever need an independent ear to bend, I'm here.
Oh, there are so many people I want to kill. Join me if you want.
If they deserve it, I will.
How about murdering a 13-year-old? And a 16-year-old? And an 18-year-old? And my twin and a 21-year-old?
Then that sounds like something I can definitely get in on.
Perfect! I start drawing a picture of the guy, and it's a really bad drawing, and I'm like, yeah, this is the guy we're trying to find. His
It
name
looks
is
strangely similar to the guy you saw.
his name is Guts, spelled Gutz. Guts.
Okay. You are quite the artist.
Insight. I don't even need to roll that. I know it's awful.
Is that a lie or a true Sparhawk?
It was an ambiguous comment. He never said quite a good artist or quite a bad artist. He just said quite the artist.
Go ahead and make a deception check because you're not being true to your words. So, roll your insight, Agnes. You believe him because he doesn't have disadvantage on the deception.
I must turn that off.
So you believe him.
I'm quite proud of myself for a little while. I'm like, maybe I should take up drawing. Maybe I should draw portraits and do caricatures and stuff. It'd be amazing. I'm set on this idea now.
Okay.
I imagine your drawing is like a stick figure with pointy teeth and big, angry eyebrows.
Sparhawk conspicuously doesn't volunteer to be your first subject.
I'd do it anyway in the background. I will draw a picture ready for your next session.
I just want to confirm that Cora is still around before we continue because I can't see her or hear her.
I can see her.
See her now.
Yes.
He is back.
See you. Can't hear though.
I'm here. Yes.
Oh,
I have to
excellent.
switch
There we go.
everything and move there's a lot of snow, and I think it's messing with my internet.
Yeah. Okay, so morning comes, you all come to consciousness, and the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Go to the market, go to the market, go to the market.
Yeah, I think we'll go to the market. Someone looks really happy to want and keen to go.
Okay, so you are you going to keep your retainers outside for now, Sparhawk?
Yep, they're not going anywhere near this town.
Okay, so you guys start making your way back into it. And
I the kid is looking through.
he's actually still asleep, to be honest. Like, he spent too much of the night pouting to get any rest. So, and have you ever heard?
Before we leave, I'll wake him up.
5 more minutes, please. I didn't get much sleep last night, boss.
Why not?
Oh, because Buck kept on making comments towards me, and he was looking at my no-no area, and he made me feel really uncomfortable.
Can I stab this kid?
I'm not even going to roll that. Sparhawk would not believe that at all.
No,
well, he trusts Tariq in terms of, like, you know,
to do his duty.
Yes, he doesn't trust him to actually tell the truth a lot, so he's just going to roll his eyes and say, "Up, time to train." And
and he begrudgingly does his training session with you. He is very sluggish today. Anyway, so you guys make your way towards Star's Independence, and as soon as you get into the first outskirts of the buildings, a familiar face immediately comes up from one of the alleyways between two half-built houses. Varys.
I fancy seeing you here.
Sorry. Well, I hope you have all had a pleasant evening's rest. As promised, I've come to just get your answer. So, will you be taking us up on our generous offer?
Afraid we cannot join you. You mean you no harm? We will keep your secrets, and we will do our best to unify this town anyway, but we cannot work with you.
Is there any way I can convince you otherwise? Is there something in the offer that we're lacking? What can we do to work with you?
How much freedom can you give us to do what we need to do?
Well, it depends on what you wanted to do.
Well, seeing as information only comes from accepting the terms, how much do we answer back to? I want to say Gorgon, but that's not his name.
Dargon.
Dargon.
Yeah.
Dyslexic dragon.
Dargon Gondar.
Dargon Gondar.
Dargon Gondar. He says to you, well, if you have a personal mission, then that would benefit the Order in any way. We'd, give you complete absolute freedom. If there was a task that the New Order needed to complete from you, then we would expect you to listen to the instructions given to you, but ultimately how you would achieve said goals is a matter of your perspective and skill sets. You know how you work best. Basically, we would tell you, we would like to get this done. What can you do it? And if you say yes, then we'll expect you to get it done in the way that you would get it done.
I'm just going to turn to everyone and does that make anyone feel any better?
I'm hiding behind Sparhawk.
We saw someone last night. Spoke to Dargon. The guy, gold armor. We can't trust him. We can't work with any organisation that works with him.
Oh, why? What has Maxwell done?
That is not my place to say. But I will not work with him. So you have our answer.
Has Maxwell offended you in some way? Has he stolen off of you? Has he done something that needs to be addressed?
Your recruitment process, how strenuously do you look at people?
We see whether or not they can get the job done, and then we get them on board.
So if, for example, one of your employees was a known... Oh, my page is gone.
Yeah, I lost you on camera.
Yeah, not on. If one of your individuals to get jobs done was a known criminal, let's say, would you be willing to expunge him from the fold?
Well, there is no law in the New World, so any crimes that anybody may have committed in the Old World stayed with them in the Old World. This is a new world with new beginnings, and if they made any mistakes in the past, I would hope that they came here to get away from those mistakes.
Fortress is more and more tempted.
What you're saying is that you will get the job done without
Yes.
moral or ethical considerations.
We would moral and ethical considerations is an interesting topic because that is interchangeable to the individual. Personally, I think it's immoral to let people starve to death because they have a different political viewpoint from yourself. However, the individuals of this settlement believe it is a moral thing to do. And that's why they do it.
And that's definitely something we are going to try and talk them out of today.
If you try to talk to them, I want to make it abundantly clear from the get-go that if you were to try to dissuade them from their current course of action, that would run counterproductive to the New Order's plans.
So when you said you wanted to unify both sides, what you meant is you wanted to back the winning side and who gives a fuck about the rest?
No.
They want a bloodbath.
No, we do not.
You need to stop putting words in this guy's mouth, everyone. You're jumping to conclusions.
Need to start being clearer then.
You need to join us if you want me to be clear with you.
And if we decide we want to leave after joining, if we don't feel comfortable, like we're a fit there.
That's absolutely fine. But if you are aware of sensitive information, then there may be certain steps we have to go about to ensure that you do not spread that information. There are certain magics that some of our members know that can, shall we say, modify your memory.
Cora's just gonna look at him and say, I'm really sorry. I'm very confused because it sounded last night, or at least you tried to make it sound like you wanted these two settlements unified. And
we do. Yes, we do.
We tell you that we are going to try and speak to the respective leaders to
get them unified, and you tell us that.
And by doing that, it will go counterproductive to our plan of unification.
So you want us to unify them, but in a way that you feel is different
We
than...
wish to unify them utilizing the plans that we have come up with. And if you speak to both individual leaders to try to get them to come to some form of agreement, it will run counterproductive to what we have planned. If you wish to continue this course of action, then you are within every means to do so. But any potential alliance that we have will end right here and right now. And we would take measures to ensure that our plan comes to fruition. So,
if we were just to leave here, leave Legacy, leave Independence, leave you two, whatever you're doing here, would that count as a truce between us, and there would be no hostilities?
of course, our immediate concern is with the Star Settlement. We have operations elsewhere, but they're fledgling at best. But we would give you we would be very clear as to what areas we have laid claim to, and we would ask as you avoid them.
Hypothetically, if you were to succeed in your plan of this unification, would the new Stars settlement, would that be open to trade and alliances with New Uranium?
I'll have to ask Dargon about that.
It's the new world. We all need to work together. It just feels like not very togetherness.
Your way is not the best way. You are a group of unknowns, individuals. Maybe you're equipped for battle, maybe you're not. Maybe you've got some good tongues about you, maybe not. We have resources, we have individuals, we have trained people, we have experienced people. We know what we're doing. You are children flailing around in the darkness. We wish to guide you.
What exactly is it that you saw in us that made you want our help, or at least our alliance?
Because within the space of an hour of you arriving, you spoke to both leaders of the settlement. No one has done that. Clearly you are people worth speaking to, so that's why I approached you. And taking your measure, I can clearly see that you can look after yourselves.
I really don't want you guys to make me say it. I really don't. And how can we not?
I don't know what you're saying.
Sorry, was that really quiet?
No, I just it seemed to be. It seemed like we were supposed to know what you were trying not to say, but I
think what he's trying to say is this is our only way. This is our only option. Yeah, is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no, leaving is our only option. Well, leaving is another option. Completely ignoring him and carrying on with our plan regardless is an option.
Yeah, you have infinite options available to you. This is just what the New Order wants, but it doesn't have to be what you want.
I cannot, in my head, think of a way in which Starhawk would say yes. I just can't.
Then Sparhawk will say no.
Starhawk is going to say no.
Well, that's unfortunate. The rest of you?
Does the offer stand after we make a decision now, or is this it?
This is it.
These people are all new to me. It has served me well to work with them. If the entire party can't get on board, then I'm afraid it's a no from me as well.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, we're like family. If one of us aren't going to join, I'm not joining, so I'll step back.
Unfortunate. So as Agnes is already behind Sparhawk, he's already assuming that she said no.
I'm hiding. I'm like behind him as much as I possibly could be.
Well, then, that leaves our elven friend, our half-orc friend, and our interesting, large...
She's a firbolg.
I want to say... A firbolg? Well, I thought you guys were wiped out.
Just treat her with
That's
respect,
interesting to
please.
know. Of course, it's interesting to know. Thank you for sharing that. Well, what are your three decisions?
I don't know what you're talking about here. I was just following them to pickpocket them, but now you've discovered me, so I'm just gonna go. Then Amron runs away.
Oh yeah, does he know about him?
No, he never saw him once.
Very well. Half-orc? Firbolg? Your decisions?
You first, Cora. I need to hear what you say.
I can't say that I can work with people who would sell me, hunt me.
Oh no, we certainly wouldn't do that whilst you were part of us.
That's not the impression I got from Wennis.
We don't. That sounded a lot like a
don't worry.
threat as well.
Don't worry about Wessos. He's not the most charismatic of people. A little gruff around the edges, but he means well, I'm sure.
I really just wish that you guys could be a little more transparent with us to give us more information.
And you have to prove your worth by swearing an oath of loyalty. We don't know you. Why would we reveal ourselves to you?
Why would we
Innermost
swear an oath
honesty.
to a group that we know very little about?
Because you've seen what we can give you, and yet... There we
We've
go.
heard what you can give us. I can tell you I can give you the world. That doesn't make it true.
Okay, well... I'm going to assume that's a no from yourself, Theobald.
If you don't want to give us any more information, I don't know that I can give you my loyalty.
Unfortunate. Well, that leaves just yourself, Huffle.
If I become a member, can I still travel with the people I'm traveling with?
Well, it seems they have a different path from ours, so... At this junction, I would say no.
Even if I could guide it in a way that would benefit everyone.
There is no benefit for everyone if they are intending to do what they are intending to do.
All right, then. Then I cannot either.
Unfortunate.
But know this, I
Well
don't
then,
say it lightly.
I wish you the... I understand. It's a heavy offer to turn down. One would say a fool would turn it down, but to each their own. Well, I wish you the very best of luck in your adventures and your endeavours. I don't suspect we'll be seeing each other again. But I like you. I very much do. So, I'm going to give you 2 bits of free advice. The first one is, the individual that you're looking for Look, there is a small little forest, kind of a clump of trees. They look a little bit different from the rest of them. Probably about 30 miles southwest of here. I'd look there for your missing scout.
You understand why it's concerning that you'd know that?
Well, like I said, we have ears. And, let's just... When you discuss this individual, within earshot of, a couple of our people that you didn't know while speaking with Arano, let's just say that we became aware of that particular endeavour of yours. If you wish to go find this individual, he is 30 miles southwest in a cluster of trees of a different auburnish colour compared to the rest.
Thank you.
The second bit of advice is, don't be here tomorrow.
Understood.
Very friendly.
And with that, he bows with smiles and goes back down the street. So, what do you guys want to do?
Curl up in a ball and cry about it.
I'm going to get my bearings and figure out which way I need to be going to go towards the guy we're looking for. I'm just going to push and go, right, let's get out of here.
We need to go to the market first.
I mean, hopefully, yes, I'd like to go to the market if it's open and they don't all hate us. I have a feeling half this town works for the Order.
The market is open and available to you. They refuse to serve Sparhawk, though.
Sparhawk's not going to the market.
Okay, no worries. However, if you wish to purchase herbs, how many gold's worth of herbs are you looking to buy?
I would like 25 golds of herbs if possible and 20 gold of incense if you have it. Minimum of 5 gold of herbs.
They have got 20 gold worth of herbs. And
Do they have any incense?
They do have incense. They have got, I'd say, 15 gold's worth. And that will clear them out.
Yeah, I'd take the lot. So that would leave me with 40 gold total of herbs and incense, which is perfect.
Okay.
Are there any healers kits in the market?
There is not, unfortunately.
Damn it.
So go ahead and make a quick investigation check, please.
Yep. Rolling. Woo! Come on.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay, well, looking around and speaking with some of the denizens, there were healers kits, but in the early days of the Star settlements, but they are not here anymore. And they swear down that it was Star's legacy that stole them all.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
No worries. So, anything else? Anybody else want to do any shopping? Anything you're looking for?
I think Sparhawk's just trying to stay inconspicuous as much as he can in his shining armor and all the rest of it.
You, unfortunately, will have to deal with a lot of insults from a lot of people. They hate you. Well, they don't hate you. They hate what you represent.
Yeah, he's ready for it today.
Are we leaving and not coming back now?
Because the
the question is, are we abandoning speaking to the leaders and going to find Gareth?
Exactly.
Emron did tell us about the moved up time for the thing, didn't he? So what was that moved up to?
So Independence was planning to attack Legacy in about 10 days' time. After they were told of the VTC, they have accelerated their plans into about 4 days' time.
How
so we
far?
have time to get to Gareth's body and back if we.
It'll take you pretty much most of the day to get to the location that he has just described to you.
And then a day to get back, which wouldn't leave a lot of time to do anything.
Well, 2 days is quite a lot of time, actually.
Assuming nothing changes while we're not here.
Yeah.
He told you to not be here tomorrow.
Yes.
So.
Exactly. Well, I wasn't there when he said that. But...
Oh. We're not coming back tomorrow. This is done. It's over. We failed.
We haven't tried yet.
We can't abandon everyone here.
Well, we already did. They're going to fight. The Order's going to do what they're going to do, and things are going to play out exactly how they're going to play out, whether we were part of it or not. We could have been, but we're not.
We
come
try
back,
and
they
stop
target us, and they kill us.
You haven't properly you've only briefly spoken to the leaders. There's nothing stopping you from going to speak to leaders.
Yes.
I think Sparhawk would be still optimistic that he could turn the nobles around if somebody who would actually be able to speak to the commoners or the independents could turn them around.
I'm all up for that plan. I want to try and save as many people as possible.
I just want to step in as a DM and just make sure that you guys are aware as players that instead of the original 2 factions that you originally thought, there is in fact 3 factions, and you are not working with one of them.
But we can't speak about it.
But it's not. I don't want you to think that perhaps this is the primary or perhaps the only course of action. There are so many ways. There are so many ways that you can go about doing this. I don't want you to feel like you're being limited. That's all.
I think I would feel a bit guilty if we just leave and not, try anything that may help in any little way.
If we want to back down from the first people that try and bully us out of doing something good, then, what are we really doing here? I don't appreciate being threatened. I don't appreciate being, ordered about. They came to us with friendship and, all these words, but as soon as we reject their offer, it's don't be here tomorrow. Meh. I don't really get on board with that. If that was our option at the start, they should have just come to us and said that at the start. Don't pretend to be all nice and friendly and then start banging threats about. So I say we go with our original plan, talk to the leaders, try and talk them out of fighting each other and come together peacefully. Come what may.
I agree.
Do what you want. I'll be behind you.
I think, given the time limitations, are we going to try and do this separately? Or are we going to be, as a party, back and forth across the bridge?
I mean, the time limitation is based on them telling us not to be here by tomorrow, but they also told us not to speak to the leaders. So I think as soon as we do that, that goes out the window anyway. I don't really think there is a time limitation. Oh, well, the 5 days before they plan attacking. But yeah, it's probably better to split up anyway, because Agnes is probably the best person to speak to the people over here.
Yes.
And Sparhawk is probably the best person to speak to the people over in Legacy.
Sparhawk and Isaac could probably go.
Don't forget that Varys did mention that the reason he knew we were looking for Gareth was because we spoke about it while we were talking to Arano. So they've obviously got
eyes everywhere here. So
At the very least, hopefully it'll get back to them that we didn't mention the order when we completely ignored the order's instructions to us. That's something. It's got to buy us some sort of credit.
Yeah.
I think before we start any negotiations, I think the first thing is to be able to scrap bending the knee thing. I think that's pretty much the crux of the deal breaker for independence.
Yeah, I agree.
Perhaps that's the very first thing. You and Sparhawk and Isaac and whoever else would be most suitable for that task.
So if
Before the rest of us go and speak to Aran.
split into a 3 and a 4.
I think so. I definitely will help Agnes with the people this side.
I'd happily go with Sparhawk and Isaac. I'm fairly easy either way. I don't particularly like the Lords, but I can behave.
Okay. So what's the plan, guys?
We're going to split up and speak to the leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just put in the chat, just for my brevity, who are you going to go speak to? Just select who you want to go speak to, and or just type who you're going to go speak to in the chat, so I know who's going where. So everybody else's Roll20 going like really laggy at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for spelling it correctly, so I know how it's spelt for future.
Independence.
Corey's on the tie.
Okay, so Sparhawk, Vorkris, and Isaac and Cora will go speak to Gilderoy at Star's Legacy, whereas Enron, Agnes, and Bark will go speak to Arano of Star's Independence. So it's up to you guys. Who would like to go first?
Let the rich go first.
Okay.
It is their way.
Isaac's been preparing for days. He's got to have his moment now.
Yeah, I'll go second. I'll let Sparhawk warm him up first.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
All right, so I'm just so let's just preparing on that. And you're going there. Bark's going to Independence. So you guys begin making your way back to the bridge and moving over. And once again, Sparhawk, you have to deal with the jeers
Actually, yeah,
and the insults.
I've got a crying child. I'm going to be gone for 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem. So, despite all the jeers and the insults, you make your way over the bridge back towards Star's Legacy. So once you get onto this particular side of the bridge, do you just make your way directly towards Gilderoy's quarters again?
Yes, but I'd keep an eye out on, all across the streets, just looking for people looking at us.
Make a perception check, please.
Oh, I don't know why I bother to say anything, because then I have to roll for it and it just doesn't work. Ooh.
Oh. Wow. Just a moment. You do notice a couple of individuals are keeping an eye on you from the more darkened areas of the gaps between the houses that have been built. And they are following you.
I just like to cast a message at one of them and just say, I see you.
You get a message back in your head just that says, "Oh shit!" and they disappear.
Yeah, there were two guys following us, but they've just left.
I don't have
So-
anything aside from the party money, but either before or after while we're over here. I don't know how far out of the way the shop that we saw that might have healers kits in it.
Let me get the notes up here. So if you're looking for healers kits, if you... What in the world? Where'd my notes go? Oh, don't tell me it's done that thing again. Hold on, sorry.
I just came back from the loo. Did you say healers kits?
Yes.
We found them all over the ground here.
Hundreds of them.
Pick some
But
up.
they all said everyone is not allowed.
Oh, well, so there are two established stores in Star's Legacy: Fudge Metals and Woody's Wonders. In terms of the medical kit, you'll have to probably walk around the immediate market for it. Do you go looking for one of those?
I'm going to. Well, I don't know how the money split works, but I do know that it's something that Cora would want and Emron definitely wanted. So if it's something that you see on the way over there, I'm definitely going to stop.
Make a general investigation check, please.
The party loot is pretty much for anyone to be using.
Okay.
It's just, obviously, if you go out and buy yourself stupidly expensive armor and clear out the funds, we might be a bit upset. But healing kit seems fair.
Damn it.
You look around. You briefly ask somebody if they have any healer's kit just on the way, and they casually. You're not muted, mate.
Sorry.
I mean, you briefly just ask one of the shopkeepers on the way. It says, "Oh, do you have any healers kits in that?" They respond to you, "Oh, no, we don't have any healers kits. The rabble on the other side of the river, they stole all of those. They won't let us have any."
Funny,
Vorkus
that's what they
wonders
said
in his
about
head.
you.
Yeah, Vorkus wonders
Of
in his head
course
how
it
many
was-
healers kits the Order have.
Of course, they would say that about us. They're liars and they're thieves.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you continue on your way. So, you make your way over to the building that looks like a cross that you know has Gilderoy inside.
Can I clean everyone's clothing and armor up with prestidigitation before we
Of
go
course. So, everybody looks gleaming. So, you make your way inside. And once again, you find this rather large, open but empty area with a desk inside of it. And today you see a young human woman with blonde hair with pigtails, behind the desk there. So she's just sort of going through some papers at the moment. She says, "Oh, hello. Sorry, it's my first day today. Oh, how can I help you? I apologise if I'm a bit slow."
Good morning. Your first day.
Yes.
Well, obviously you would not recognise any of us then, but my name is Sparhawk Blackstone. I'm here to see Gilderoy Tino, if possible.
Do you have an appointment with him?
I'm afraid not, but it is, once again, as I stated yesterday, a matter of urgency.
Did he see you yesterday?
He did. We had quite the chat.
I'll go. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this, but I'll go ask him and see if he's willing to speak to you again. And with that, she sort of hurries off over to the direction of the office of Gilderoy. She knocks on the door and she goes in. She's in there for a couple of minutes before she comes out, and she says, he says he's willing to see you in a few minutes, if that's okay.
Okay, we will wait.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And she goes back down, and she's like, she looks really, really nervous, but like she's trying her best to be like as professional as possible. And
Can I
after a
ask her
couple
what
of
happened
minutes,
to the? Sorry, can I just ask her what happened to the person that worked here yesterday?
Oh, the tiefling lady.
Yes.
Oh, she was fired.
What happened?
She let some wild animal in, and it ruined all of the work that Gilderoy had been working on. So unfortunately, she was let go.
That's very upsetting. But thank you for the
Yeah.
information.
It was quite a thing. She was in tears and everything.
I hope she's doing okay. I imagine work might be a little bit hard to come by out here.
It is very hard to come by. I was the first on a long list of people to try and get a job in this building. So I'm just trying to be on my best behaviour.
I hope you don't find this a rude question, but I've introduced myself. Could I ask your name?
My name is Gladys.
Pleasure to meet you, Gladys.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I'm happy to be of service.
and she like gives you like a very, very like professional, forced smile. Not in a rude way, in more like she's super nervous and she's just trying to put a facade on sort of way. However, after a couple of minutes, the doors to Gilderoy's office opens up, and she says, "Oh, I believe he's ready for you now."
He's willing to have a meeting indoors today?
Yes, I believe. Yes.
Probably scared to leave his office again. Yeah, head inside the office.
Okay.
I think just before you do, Sparhawk's just going to say, let's just be a bit wary. And then head in.
Okay. So you make your way inside, and once you get inside, you see the large stonish like table and a small chair that he's been effectively using as a desk. But other than that, this entire area is very bare bones. No decor, no furniture or anything like that. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to sit. And you see Gilderoy standing and goes, "Oh, well, hello again. It's so nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'd offer you a sit, but unfortunately I have no furniture."
That's perfectly all right. It is possibly something to do with that we come to speak to you today.
Yes. So, I'm under the impression that I have been told that you, before you came to speak to me, you had a chat with the leader over in was it whatever his name is, Arano or something like that.
Our party has spoken to both sides of the river.
I'm very surprised that he even listened to you. I'm surprised he even understands the spoken word, to be honest.
Well, he did not listen to me, per se. He just listened to the party.
I see. Well, obviously I've been told that it's a matter of urgent importance. So what's the issue? Are they planning to attack us anytime soon?
I'm not talking about attacks. I'm talking about the health and well-being and prosperity of your people on this side of the river. It seems
Yes,
you are
of course.
lacking in resources.
Yes, we are. As I said yesterday, we do not have food. We do not have timber. We do not have, the basic necessities for us to be able to live and survive here.
And obviously, you are coming across to me as a reasonable person. You've said that you're willing to trade.
Yes. We went to the tables. However, the entire talks broke down over just a whole different bunch of things. But they were completely unreasonable in their requests, and well, frankly, we cut off ties to them.
Forgive me. It seems tempers are raised on both sides, from what I've seen as an outsider.
Yes. I think anger is their default emotion over there.
Oh, well, when people are faced with desperation, it can often raise those sort of emotions.
Yes, that's it brings us to the current predicament. Obviously, my people are starving, and I have no way to feed them.
And the best thing would be then to resolve the differences with the other side in some way or means. Yes,
They have no desire to talk to us.
they have no desire to talk to you while you demand fealty.
Well, we do not demand fealty. We just really want them to accept the fact that we are all citizens of the Urinium Empire, of the Starfist royal family. They wish to deny where we came from, but why would we do that? They are part of who we are, and rightly so.
Well, can you not accept that you are happy to accept that fact and let them be their own and just trade with them nevertheless?
But they have, of course. If that was if it was as simple as that. But they're requesting that we actively rebel against the Starfish family, that we burn all the sigils, that we get rid of them all, and anybody who is like housing any memorabilia or any showing any kind of support towards the royal family should be lynched in the square. I mean.
Is that sorry, may I ask, is that something that has been said directly to you by the leader of their side?
No. I haven't spoken to him in many weeks. This is all through missives that I've received from them.
Missives, written missives.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd show you, but unfortunately, a lot of my papers were destroyed yesterday.
If we were able to arrange a face-to-face meeting between yourself and Orano in a purely neutral area, would you agree to such a meeting?
Well, of course, I'd be more than happy to talk than actually, have this turn to any form of violence or bloodshed. And I'd rather us all try to work together than for us to lose our lives over this, but they're leaving us no choice. So if they were to speak to us, yes, we'd come to the table, of course. We're not bloodthirsty. We don't want to invade them. I merely wish to provide for my people.
Can I ask a question about the people you have here? Do you have any people that can farm, that can forage, that can hunt? Skill set amongst you.
We did, but unfortunately, the predators got them early on in the days, along with a number of our, extremely gifted engineers and builders and construction workers.
So obviously, you stated that you would willingly meet because you do not want that. But
of course,
I would like to point out that if you were to invade them and steal the resources they have, that would only prolong things for a few weeks because you still do not have any way to produce.
It would be a subjugation kind of invasion, unfortunately. As awful as it sounds, we would have to impose some form of law upon them to ensure that they work the fields.
I feel that side of the river has had a taste of freedom and they would not submit willingly. So I feel many of them would force you to kill them before they submitted to be what sounds a little bit like slaves.
That's all. We would have to expel them and put our own people to work in their fields.
Your people who do not have those skills?
Well, we just do not have the lands to do it here. The closest land that we have, unfortunately, is several miles outside of this rocky, craggy area, and we cannot hold it due to the predator attacks. We just do not have the numbers.
I'm sure you understand. Obviously, you're a noble.
I am. Let me just check, actually, just before I say anything that I will regret it later on.
We're making you work.
I am not a noble. I was simply I was a business owner back in the old world.
But you occupy a position of privilege as a mayor, yes?
Yes, I've been. My administrative duties and abilities have, let people choose me to represent them in these matters.
Yeah, part of privilege is also a responsibility.
Yes, of course.
To protect the people under your purview.
Yes.
Which is everybody in this town.
Yes, it is, yes.
Just to make that clear.
Yes, no, my one priority in this entire endeavour is to make sure that my people are safe and fed.
And if Arono of the Independents is willing to meet in a neutral location, are you willing to
Yes,
arrange
of
that
course.
for any
I
time?
mean, I'd seriously doubt he would come to the table, but yes, we would definitely meet them.
And where would you consider a suitable neutral location?
The bridge, perhaps.
That seems
Just
reasonable.
It's the most neutral area there is.
Cora's gonna say, are you gonna have all of those people up in the towers with
We
their
would have
weapons ready?
We would have. I would have a few people on standby just to ensure that no foul play is being made on the other side. But I would go upon the bridge alone. Actually, I mean, if you are, do you have close relations with Arano?
I do not.
Not at all.
Because if he trusts you, then I would actually ask one of you to perhaps join me and be the neutral party to make sure that both of us were being fair to our words. You seem to have
that
an
would seem
affinity
very
with
fair.
words.
If we agreed on a specific number of onlookers to ensure no foul play from both sides, would that be fair?
Of course, if Arano agrees to this, yes. We won't be giving up our ballistae. That's our main. They outnumber us an exceptional amount. That's nearly our only forms of defense against them.
For this meeting, you will not move that ballistae from pointing directly down the bridge.
Well, we won't point it at them, but we will have people nearby that can arm them and point them if needs be.
And if would you accept some members of our party standing with those people just to prevent? No, I'm not suggesting any foul play on your part, but I feel
if it would make Arano feel more comfortable, then yes. If you think it is it will help them come to the table, then yes. If it makes them feel more comfortable. Look, all we want from Star's independence is that it's to remove all of these unfair, shall we say, vilifications of our beliefs and our traditions, and just simply come to the agreement that we did come from the Urinian Empire, and that we are all subjects of the Starfish family, and that we should represent the best qualities that they had to offer in going forward in our new settlement here. That's all we ask.
But you could state those qualities as qualities that the new world should be lived by. These are the best qualities from when the Empire was in its ascendancy, yes?
Yes, of course.
Not the qualities that have reigned in
No. Oh, as we discussed yesterday, the VCC is obviously, the Vivus Trading Company has obviously brought things down a peg, but the idea is still alive as far as I'm concerned.
This is all very promising. I must say.
I'm glad so. I wish I could provide more references, but once again, my all of my works, my notes were destroyed yesterday by some rabid wild creature.
I have one last question for you.
Of course.
These missives that you've been receiving that
the missives, yes.
Yeah, so much information about the other side.
Yes.
How are they delivered to you?
They're hand delivered to me by my people.
Which people?
Well, generally the guards on the bridge. Usually a representative or one of the guards from the rabble lot over there will come to the middle of the bridge, where a guard would, one of my own guards would go and meet them in the middle of the bridge. They would take the letter and then bring them straight back in.
Have you been sending letters back to Independents as well?
Yes, of course. We simply to deny them that we do not agree to their most outrageous terms, and that this, unfortunately, this withholding of resources and quality goods will continue until they are willing to come to the table with more acceptable terms.
Well, we
We're not
have
being
members
unreasonable
speaking.
here.
Not at all. We have members speaking to Orano at the moment. Hopefully, he will also agree to a meeting, and we can find some common ground between you to start building a more productive relationship rather than this sending letters between each other and aiming ballistae over the bridge, etc. I mean, that doesn't help anyone. I understand your position. I understand you need to defend your settlement. But a friendship is surely beneficial for everyone.
I honestly wish you the very best. I don't think it will come to fruition, but I do wish you all the best.
Isaac, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, what is your take on New Uranium? Would
Oh,
you,
well,
would you do
it's-
trade with them?
Of course, it's our mother settlement. Why would we not trade with them?
So they already bend the knee to you.
They do not bend the knee. They're their own people. Nobody bends the knee.
So how come across the way they can't be their own people?
Because we are one settlement.
Well, surely it'd be better to be two settlements and both thrive than one settlement and it just fall.
I think he makes a wise suggestion.
Perhaps, but
You're
this
not
place
Albert.
this place was built with the idea that we were going to be one settlement. It doesn't make much sense for us to be two different places sharing exactly the same living space, the same waters. If we would work together, this place could be monumentally good for our people. But they refuse to work with us.
But imagine a scenario where you are currently two settlements who then discuss things in friendship, who trade between each other, who help each other. Would that not then pave the way to becoming one settlement again?
I see the sense in that, yes.
Well, I
We will
guess
contact... Yeah, sorry.
it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I guess we will see how our colleagues get on speaking to Arano.
Well, I wish you all the best. And with that, back over on Star's independent side, Emron, Bark, and Agnes, you make your way over to the Meads, the place where you met Arano yesterday. And when you immediately got there, Arano is not there, but the same bartender, the half orc with a sort of a gingery beard, is there. He's currently cleaning glasses. He goes, "Oh, yeah, hello there. You looking for more drinks? It's a bit early in the morning, but I am open."
Hello, friend. We're actually looking for Arano. Do you know where he is?
Oh, yeah, he's down by the river at the moment. I believe he's inspecting the No Watchtower.
Oh, great. I guess we'll head over there then. Thanks.
Okay. No problem at all. So you make your way down to the river bank, and you can see that there is currently a new watchtower that is being, like, in the very, very base form, being constructed. It's very ramshackle, made entirely of wood. And you can see there's probably about a dozen of the guards here that are helping construction with Arano, helping out manually. And on the other side of the river, you can see about half a dozen of the legacy guards. They are watching, and they appear to also be inspecting the immediate area around them, as if contemplating building their own watchtower right here.
Hey, Arano, I see you've been busy.
So you walk up to Arano, and he says, "Oh, sorry, what was your name again?"
Emron. And this is
Emron.
my friends Agnes and Bark.
Well, hello again. My apologies. I'm a little busy at the moment. Is there something I can help with?
Yeah, is there somewhere private we can talk away from others? I've got some information that I'd like to share with you.
Yeah, sure. He works paternity office. Says, "All right, everyone, take 5 minutes. Just catch your breath, conserve your energy. We're gonna need it." And he begins walking with you a little bit further down the bank, to where there is no one within earshots that you can see.
Thank you. Anyone want to start? So I say to Agnes and Bark.
Happy to jump in if you want to start.
Yeah. Okay. So we have, how do the ideal situation, if I'm correct, is that you guys and the legacy trade peacefully and offer each other in trade the materials you need to survive. Am I correct?
Yes, well, it'll be difficult to convince people that we want anything to do with those guys over the river, but it would be the most ideal situation. But I guarantee you they're not going to want to work with us.
What was the deal breaker for you guys?
Well, the fact that we had to literally asked that 12 o'clock every day was mandatory clapping for the King Day at the time. So we would have to stand there for 5 minutes and clap for the King. Hurrah for the King! Hooray for the King! What's the King ever fucking done for us? Nothing. So why would we do that? And they were completely unrepenting on this.
Wow. Have you ever taken part in this at all?
Of course not.
Okay. And how did you get how did you get this message that you were to do this?
Well, after the talks broke down, we started sending some messages between each other, and so all of these really unreasonable requests we got is come from missives and messages.
Right. Okay.
So when was the last time that you two actually sat down and had a conversation?
Oh, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Don't you think that's pretty idiotic? That you haven't even seen each other's faces for 3 to 4 weeks?
Well, when Gilderoy is making aspirations towards my mother, you don't want to speak with a guy. When he says that me and my mother are better off in chains, like the half-elf vermin that we are, then why would I want to go speak to him?
Did he face?
No, of course he wouldn't say that's my face. I'll punch him for it.
What was the last thing he actually said to your face?
Are you sure there's no way we can work this out? And I said, no, not right now. Let's give it a few days to calm down, and then we'll talk about it.
And you
never because we were arguing, and it got quite hotly debated, and then we took it a few times, and then I got a message from him, and it basically said we're going to take all of our people over the river, and we're just going to sort of focus on our side, and you can focus on your side. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't realize it would create such a big divide as it did back then. But then, a few days after that, they started saying, right, so we need over half your entire timber. And I was like, no, we need that for ourselves, but we do need some stone. And I was like, no, we can't. We're not sending that to you. We're using it for our own gain. And it just kind of just devolved from there until it just became full on that it was very clear that they were going to attack us for our stuff.
That's not fair. Ideally, as leaders, you should be leading the people. These people need your help. And if you go, if you're going to go to war and have a fight about this,
I don't want to go to war with them.
I know. I can tell you don't want to go to war about them.
Look, my love, honestly, I was an indentured servant for a decade before winning my freedom, and that's just a fancy way of saying slave. And in that time, I suffered terribly in poor working conditions and abusive bosses. And it was people like Gilderoy that were behind the whips all the time. They don't care for someone like me. Now, I earned up enough money in order to get over here. And we split off from New Uranium with a group of people because we were, we wanted to build another settlement and explore a little. And we found this place. And a group of engineers that were, generally from Gilderoy's lot, we immediately started building this new bridge because, as far as we can tell, this river was the only way to connect to the mainland. It's kind of like we're on a sort of separated bit of land as we are right now, and there's just river all around us. And to get to the other side of the mainland, we have to cross the river. So we thought, we'll build a bridge to connect the two bits of land first, and then we all kind of came together and we decided that this was a good place to start an actual new settlement. And then all of a sudden, before we know, I'm arguing with Gilderoy about what the Star Settlement should be called. I'm saying we should probably call ourselves Stars Independence because, we're independent from, the Uranium Empire now.
we're our own people. We should call ourselves Stars Independence. And he said, well, we should call ourselves Stars Legacy because we are still subjects of the king and we represent his will here. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound like something I want. And yeah, it just kind of just got worse and worse. And then eventually we split apart, and now they refuse to work with us. And that's the point I'm trying to make is that people like that, they don't think of us like regular people. They just see slaves. So of course they wouldn't work with us. Of course they won't listen to us. Of course they would treat us in this way. So I wasn't too surprised when he started sending these really awful messages towards me. I was kind of expecting it.
Just from the last day of observation, I have suspicions that there are others that's fueling this dispute between you two. So how, as my friend Agnes here said, dialogue and talking perhaps is one step forward. How do you feel if we were able to set up a face-to-face meeting?
If it was possible, and it's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot that it is possible, but if it was possible, of course I'd go. You think I want us to send people over the river to take what we need? Because people are going to die doing this. Of course I don't want that to happen.
I think we are definitely on the same page on this for sure. No necessary life should, no lives in general should be lost as a result of this.
I agree, yes.
Great. So let us get back to you, Arano, on this. We're very keen to help to make this negotiation happen so both sides benefit and can live in peace.
Okay. Well, if you're able to do it, then, good luck. I'd definitely go and meet them if it was possible. I don't think it is, but if it was possible, I would go speak to him, and I'd at least want him to apologize for all the nasty things he said to me and my people, at least,
Definitely talking is the way forward, I think.
Yeah.
Do you both agree, Agnes and Bark?
Yeah. Blow your head in.
Can I advise taking if there was any notes sent or anything like that, take those with you? And then...
Well, he knows what he wrote, so why would I need to take them with me?
Because did he hand them to you himself?
No, they were given to me by the guards from the bridge.
We just have reason to believe
He didn't seem like... He seems like he wants to do this, so I don't understand where these ideas have come from.
What do you mean? Have you spoken to Gilderoy?
We spoke to both of you yesterday to try and put something together, to try and have a conversation between the two of you.
And he was open to this?
Yes, he wanted to come and have a negotiation. He wants to, trade with you and to try and make sure that both parties have got what they need to survive.
Well, I mean, I don't think of you as a liar, miss, but I have a hard time believing that. I really do. But if he wants to speak, then it would be the responsible thing as the chosen representative of this Stars Independence to do it. I don't know why I was chosen, but it's probably because I have more passion than most of them when it counts. So yes, I'll speak to them.
That's perfect. You seem like that you are a good person to go forward because, with respect, you've come from... You know what the people at the bottom need. You know what they can do to survive.
Yes.
While Agnes talking to Arano, can I do a perception check to see whether I can see anyone watching us?
Yeah, go ahead.
15.
You do not see anybody watching you, no.
Okay. Then I guess we'll get back to you as soon as possible with a plan on arrange a meeting.
Wonderful. Excellent. Well, strangely, kind of look forward to it, you know? Maybe we don't have to go and attack them, but we'll see. With that, he gives you all an appreciative nod, and he goes back towards the area where they are working on the new watchtower and gets back to work.
Okay. So shall we head to the bridge and see whether we can see the other guys?
It's a good idea. Yes, the cat did reset the laptop. There are two buttons the cat can't switch on, that shouldn't switch on, and that's airplane mode and the off button, and he aims for both times.
Okay, so with both of you seeing your respective leaders, you both leave at nearly the same time, and you make your ways back towards each other to discuss what you have learned. Meanwhile, elsewhere.
No.
So, I'm just using Isaac as a means for people to actually no, maybe not. Hold on, just a moment. This might not work, so let me know if it doesn't work. Where is it? Party liberty. Okay. 60. Like that. Yeah, that should work. Let me know if you guys can't see anything.
Special K logo. We're all discussing it over a box of cereal.
I like that idea. Funny.
Breakfast time at the New Order.
Oh no, we've got the
Who's got croissants?
NPC cut away.
So, a group of individuals sit around the table, and Dargon is once again sipping a mug of ale. So, are they joining? No, actually, they're going to speak to the leaders right now. Thought you said we could get them on our side. Why would we bring them in here if they weren't going to come on our side? I'm sorry, they were a little bit more willful than I thought they would be. One stand. That puts us in a little bit of danger, right? There could be no fuck-ups here. I appreciate that, I really do. You know what happens if the leaders come together, right? Yes. This is really bad. As soon as those two start sharing words with each other, this whole thing's going to come unraveled real quick. Ideas, anyone? Wenas leans forward over the table, munching on a chicken leg. I could just fucking kill them all. Bury the bodies and let our plan continue. Could be the way, but it's a little bit too sneaky for my liking. I gave them an out. I told them where they could go find this scout they're looking for in just some random forest I know of 30 miles away. I thought it would get rid of them. Looks like our plans are going to have to accelerate. It looks like it ain't safe to stay here much longer as well. Drusilla, how long is it going to take you to get everything sorted? Oh,
Not long. Hour at best, maybe.
Right, take the most important things with you, get that all sorted out. Nature, you go on ahead. Find the spots, the best locations, you mark them out. Buenos, you get the prisoners, especially the one with the same logo as that Bark fella. He'll be useful out there. Maxwell,
Yes.
I'm leaving the rest to you. You'll be taking most of the people. It happens later. Today, if best.
Not much time, but I've killed and burned people in a lot less than an hour. So, possible.
Alright, everyone. Let's pack up and go. Let's not keep our new business partners waiting.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session, guys.